Right, what's going on? Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank you for stopping by for another late night boxing talk and everything else. Let me give a quick shout out to the chat. I'm going to start with Clen Jones. He says, go to bed, recognize. Yeah, I'm going to stay up for a little while. Usaka Fury. Loma will dismantle Commey, and Eddie will try everything in his power not to let Kambosos fight him next. There's a good chance of that, but remember Lomachenko has a great promoter and Bob as well, so we'll see what happens. First of all, he has to take care of business with Commey. I got the Proletariat. Perhaps now that Bum Tio will fight Loma again. I don't know. I really don't know about that. But you never know, right? I mean, he's not. The momentum has been taken away from him, and I think he has a lot to do with that. El Jefe, man, you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, bruh? Yes, I do. Jason Bourne, Late Night with the Matrix. Exactly, man. Baruka says, I'm here, let the show begin. Exactly. Yep. Once you're here, the show has to begin. You got Brandon Blanco, salute. Let the show begin. Salute to you, recognize. Salute to you. Timothy Figueroa, salute, bro. Official. What's going on, official? Slugger Sam, salute, Rec. Salute to you, Slugger Sam. Rafael Gaza. Triple J. And we have K Bean and the Quags. All right, so this salute to X. Oh. Yeah, salute to X. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Thank you for stopping by. So this Saturday we got Lomachenko coming back. Second fight after losing to Teofimo Lopez. He's going to fight Richard Commey. And look, I definitely feel that this is a fight that Lomachenko should win. He should be a pretty heavy favorite, but I also believe it's still a dangerous fight because of Commey's size, experience. He's a strong dude. That's one thing you can't take away from him. He's a really strong guy. I know he got knocked out by Teofimo two fights ago. Because I know he fought Jackson Martinez and he knocked him out earlier this year. The fight before that, he lost to Teo. And so, he hasn't been very active in the last 2 years. I believe this is going to be his third fight in 2 years. But, he's still a very strong, powerful man. He does things pretty well. I think that he especially does things well when he has sort of a stationary target, a guy who's pretty much, coming towards him or, not too. He's just in a straight line, right? And if the guy, has a little bit of head movement, he could do things well with his lead left. He knows how to hook to the body, knows how to hook to the top, mix up his punches. Typical stuff, but he obviously, anybody who's watched him knows his defense is leaky. A lot of times he comes in with his chin up in the air. And sometimes he could walk right into a fighter's big shot, like what happened with Teofimo Lopez. But he's still a dangerous fighter. I believe he's still a dangerous fighter after seeing what he did in his last fight. Jackson Martinez is not anything to brag about, but he's younger. He's younger than Commey. He showed he had something in previous fights. So you know, when he fought Commey, Commey made easy work of him. So that tells me Commey is better, a lot better than guys like Jackson Martinez. So that therefore he can be a threat to Vasyl Lomachenko, who looked fantastic in his last fight against Nakatani. Um, you know, and he looks. I'm sure he's looking to do the same thing on Saturday night. Um, there's some wear and tear on Lomachenko, as we can see. He's had 2 surgeries on the same shoulder. He's 33, 34, around the same age as Commey. I believe Commey is the same age, 33, 34. And so when it comes to that part, I find it intriguing. Um, Obviously, anytime you watch a Lomachenko fight, you're going to see some of the, I believe, in my opinion, some of the best skills in all of boxing. And you take into consideration that he's the smaller guy, and he's going to be a lot smaller, I believe, than Richard Commey in that ring on Saturday night. He obviously gives up some height. You know, it's listed at 1 inch. I think it's more like 2 inches in height. Then the length of the arm lengths, and you will see that he has 6 inches of arm length over Lomachenko, which probably adds up to about 3 inches. All that stuff. And we know that Lomachenko can get rid of that. He can make that irrelevant in the fight. But still, Comey's dangerous. Commey is a strong guy. At least he displayed that in this last fight. And he's still capable of, knocking out a fighter who's, a little below him. Maybe at his level, if somebody's, if they're not taking him serious, he can end up beating your ass. And you don't want to do that with Richard Commey. So, yeah, it's a good fight. The lightweight division, I think, with the 4 Kangs, not Kings, Kangs, at least, well, I think all 4 of them have been exposed already. When I say exposed, what I mean is they're not world beaters just yet. They're not the type of guys that they're not pound for pound fighters, in my opinion, right? Pound for pound fighters are guys that can, at least in their division, they can beat just about everyone, and they can do it pretty convincingly. I think the only pound for pound fighter in that weight class is Lomachenko. Obviously, he's a smaller guy, but even with him, he's got some things going against him, like he's getting older. He's some wear and tear in his armor. So, if all these guys fights, you're gonna see, you're gonna see a lot of these guys take losses, man. That's what you're gonna see. And so the lightweight to me looks very. It's starting to look very interesting, especially with Cambosos beating Teofimo, and he seems like he's willing to defend his belts. Let's see how that shit works out over there with the zone. Let's see what happens Saturday night between Lomachenko and Richard Commey. All right, so at this point, oh, what's up, Trap Media? Salute, man. I'm going to drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to jump in. Feel free. Mike from Boston, salute. And that's the link in the that is the link in the chat. Anybody wants to jump on, talk about this fight coming up Saturday night, the fights over the weekend, Haney, JoJo, and Tank and Cruz. You guys are welcome to talk about any of those topics if you like, man. What's up, Brandon?
Big up to you. Big up to you. Recognize.
Hey, Brandon, is it me or your volume is real low?
Um, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's extremely low.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what the
Can,
issue is.
um, I can hear you now. Now that I got my headphones on, I'm
Yeah,
noticing.
I'm using headphones too. So yeah,
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll use it too, if only to hear you guys better. You know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah, that's fine.
I want to let me ask the chat. Anybody in the chat, can you hear Brandon and myself clear? Just let me know if you guys.
Slugger Sam says that he's fine. That he can hear. Okay.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, good.
Super Anderson, I hear both. Okay. Okay, it's pretty good.
That's good. That's good. Let me see who else I
Well,
got.
we're just gonna wait until more people come. So like L Doc, you name it. So yeah.
We got Mike from Boston. Salute, Mike.
From
Yeah, salute,
Boston,
man.
interesting.
Salute, guys.
How's it
What's
going?
going on?
Chilling, chilling, man.
So let me. What you guys thought of? I mean, whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about the Lomachenko Commey fight, or the fights over the weekend. What do you guys think?
One thing I'll say, man, is I watched that Devin Haney fight, man, and that guy's got absolutely no pop on his shit. Like it's fucking sad to watch that guy throw punches, man. People don't even react when they get hit.
Um,
Yeah, man.
for me, I saw both the Tank and the Haney fight. For Haney, it was obvious that he got hit by a guy that has a 44% KO ratio, and like people are saying that, oh, his chin is tested. I mean, yeah, because he fought a guy who doesn't have any pop. Not necessarily he's pillow fisted and whatnot, Jojo Diaz, but he doesn't have a high KO ratio to say that he has a strong chin. As for the Tank fight, Tank he got hit. He got hit. And the Showtime commentary, they were cheerleading for Tank. They weren't giving credit for Cruz's body shots. I don't know if you saw the Showtime commentary,
Yep.
but they were pretty much cheerleading for Tank. Like it's way worse than the zone cheerleading for Devin Haney and Devin Haney, yes, on Saturday. But yeah,
Yeah, I
we
turned
can't.
that shit down, man. I don't even listen to the
I I I,
commentary anymore.
I don't listen to the commentary. I
Me either.
don't. But for me, um, kind of like what Del Boy said. They're the four jesters or the four queens. I mean, they're not kings at all, because if they were, they would have fought each other. I mean, by now, but they're not doing it. So they're frauds, or the four frauds. So
I agree.
So far, to me, what's up, Rebri? Let me just finish this point real quick, but I'll say, so far to me, I don't ever judge fighters based on hype from the media. I base it on what I see. So when I see what happens, okay, look, I'll admit, when it came to Devin Haney and Tank, I was a little shocked with their performance, and in terms of meaning they didn't do as good as I thought they could do. You get what I'm saying? But other than that,
yeah,
they're not pound for. I don't look at them. The only pound for pound fighter in that weight class is obviously Lomachenko. That's the
Yeah,
only pound for pound fighter proven, right? Meaning fighting guys naturally bigger than you, beating them on skills, competing with them on skills. Those guys are just you know, prospects for the most part. Tank is getting a little too old for that, but those guys are prospects, and they're probably not at their best weight class. And the only reason I could think that is because they're afraid to go up because those guys up there might be a little too strong for them.
Yeah, man. Haney will get himself
Fair
knocked
enough.
out if he goes up in weight, man. He can't. His chin, man. I thought he got hurt in that fight on Saturday. I saw him get hurt, even by that Joe Diaz. I think hurt him.
He wobbled him. I mean, buzzed him. When you buzz someone, um, hurt is like you got your man. He's ready to go. I thought he
Right.
buzzed him,
Yeah.
but it's still not a good sign when you got a little dude buzzing you like that. It could be maybe the weight loss, the constant weight loss and putting back on weight fight night, that could
Yeah.
mess with you. What's up, Rare Bree?
I mean,
What do you thought about the fights? I'm sorry, Mike from Boston. Let me just
no.
introduce Rare Bree.
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead, man.
Haney. Haney, he's done that in 2 fights in a row now. He's trying to like prove a point that he can come forward and be an offensive fighter. He can make it a lot easier for himself if he just be himself. He's a boxer. Stick and move, and just do what you do. You're not gonna get these guys out of here. He's not at his natural weight class. He's obviously killing himself to make that weight. I think. Plus, you guys gotta realize he's what 22, 23.
Yeah,
He's
he's
still
young.
growing. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
still growing into his body. Like we won't really see the full finished product until he's like at probably at 147. Look at Montana Love, for example. At 135, this guy couldn't crack an egg. But now he moved up to 140. You see, he's knocking everybody out. So we might see the same. Well, I'm not gonna say he's gonna knock people out, but he'll
but
probably
you're
have more
saying that
body.
his power will be, he'll feel stronger.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
that's
like
what it.
Tio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tio,
That's probably what it's going to take. That's probably what it's going to take for him to cut
yeah,
less weight. Yeah, but again, man, like I said, these guys could. I think I was on somebody's show last night. I was like, what can make these guys or what can make this division better is if all these guys fight each other, or fight
yep.
if they're not fighting each other, fighting good competition, even if it means that they got to step up in weight, and because they're going to fight better competition, you want to fight healthy, right? You want to be in there,
Hmm.
not weight drained or sluggish. Then so be it. Do it that way, you know.
If I'm
Um,
Dev, I'm only taking the big fights at 135 and just move up to 140. Anything else is
yeah,
a waste of time.
Man, I don't know, man. I see with Devin Haney, man. Like he's got the boxing skills, the fundamentals, but he's out there trying to be Floyd Mayweather, and he has to realize that he's not on that level. And I really like I can't believe the lack of power with that kid, because I see him landing clean shots, and he just doesn't
Yeah,
seem to be able to move anybody. I mean, no, I mean it's just nothing. People walk right through his shit.
can't even buzz them.
yeah.
Like
And
I
he,
don't even
when
think
you
I see
look
him
at
buzz
him,
anybody. Yeah,
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
is, when you look at him, you say to yourself, this guy looks like he could punch.
yeah,
Right? Just if you just looked at him and you looked at his physical build and him being at 135 or even 140, right?
yeah.
He looks like a guy that could punch. If I had just had to guess and never seen him fight before, you know.
Yeah, he looks strong, but shit, just doesn't fucking work.
Well, you can't judge a book by its cover. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah,
like to
yeah.
me, to me, I don't know if I'm a little bit hyperbolic, but to me, Devin Haney, he's like just another Paulie Malignaggi. I don't know if
I
I'm
don't know
being
about that.
super hyperbolic, but
That's going too far.
yeah,
He's a little bit more talented than Paulie.
yeah. I mean that's for
Yeah,
sure. But I mean
Yeah,
his power, like you could compare him to that. I mean, but yeah.
yeah.
yeah, that I agree with that. He could compare it.
Cruz, I
What's
think I think Cruz would give a lot of these guys trouble. Like you noticed that Cruz didn't fight the way he usually fights against Tank. He obviously respected his power. He's not doing that with JoJo or Devin. He's walking through that shit and trying to get you out of there.
somebody just tried to dick bomb the show?
Yeah, I
Just
saw
to
that
let you
shit.
guys know. Fucking stupid
Gay
motherfucker.
ass motherfucker.
Yeah. Whatever, man. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, yeah, I mean, look, man. Isaac Cruz came in there and he came to win, and I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
like that. He's like, yeah, Tank's just a fighter like me.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, they psych themselves out or whatever. He didn't do that. He went in there. He gave a good fight, in my opinion. He could have won. There was a lot of swing rounds. He could have won some of those rounds.
Yeah.
Um, Look, it
Yeah,
is
I
what
had
it
it
is.
6-6.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, exactly. I had it something like that. If you want to give it the Tank, I'm not gonna argue with it because
It wasn't a
it's
robbery. People saying it's a
no a
robbery. It's
robbery.
stupid.
A robbery is he fucked him up, and you still give
Yeah.
him the fight. You know what I'm saying? But he did hurt
He did better than we expected.
Tank
So
to the
people,
body.
yeah.
Exactly. He did better than a lot of people thought he would do, including myself.
Yeah.
I thought that more likely he would get knocked out late, late in the fight. He'll be
Yeah.
strong in the beginning, but get broken down by Tank's power and size. Obviously, this is the
It's skill
first guy
boxing.
probably.
It's another player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see what he
Yeah,
does, man.
the dude's got a chin too, man. I saw him take a flush uppercut from Tank. He didn't even bother him.
It's that damn neck of his. He got a thick ass neck like
Yeah,
He
Tyson and
has a
Canelo.
small neck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
but
looks like
I
he's
don't
built.
see anyone knocking that kid out. It's
He's
gonna be
built
hard to
like a
knock that
tank.
kid out.
Yeah.
He's
He's
built like
built.
a tank himself.
He has that boxer build. Perfect build for a boxer of that weight class.
Guerrero, what's up, man? Salute. I don't know if Guerrero could hear me.
Oh, I thought you said Canelo.
No, 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 Guerrero. Guerrero de la Info. You here, bro? I don't want to kick you out by accident, man, because we're
Yeah,
getting
what's up?
trolled.
My
All right,
bad.
it's
What's
you.
up?
It's you. No,
Recognize.
no,
What's up, everybody?
just want to make sure
What's
it's
up,
you.
man?
Salute, bro.
Hey, real quick, they put a picture of El Jefe in the Discord thing, and it was like this pear-shaped chubby motherfucker. Is that really him?
Nah, that's not him. That's not him.
No,
I was like, damn.
don't believe everything you see in the Discord. I'm just gonna let you know right now, Real Breed. They'll
That
have
shit was
you.
funny.
They had a picture of me
Yeah,
going
that's not
around.
El
This
Jefe.
little midget. This little midget. I mean, it could be me. I'm not saying that it's not me. I'm saying that
Yeah,
you know you got to be
like that
careful, man.
voice. That'd be weird. Your voice coming out of a midget. I'm like, oh, that nigga.
And that
That shit.
Discord is crazy, man.
Hey, speaking of Loma, Bob Arum says he's trying to make Stevenson versus Loma next. What are you doing, old
Really?
man? Like, yeah, I'm like,
No.
man, just unify 130 and then let Loma. Um, I will let Loma get the winner of Haney versus Cambosa because that way he can just sweep up all of the, just stop wasting time and get all the belts at the same time.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get undisputed. Like that's what I personally like to see.
Yeah, but well, I mean, I guess he could fight Stevenson in the before that, but I don't know if he would. Who knows?
I mean, that
But
seems
that'd be
like
a
a
Who
good
we
really
fight.
talking about?
dangerous fight for him to take just for no
Yeah, that
belt
would
or
be a
anything.
dangerous fight. But it'd be a good fight. But I don't know. I think it's too early for that.
What fight is that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Bob Arum says he wants to make Shakur Stevenson versus Lomachenko, either at 130 or 135.
Yeah, that'll all depend on what happens with
Commey.
the Comey fight, and then what transpires with the Cambosa's fight. It all depends. If Cambosa goes for the money,
Yeah.
uh, who knows who might win that? Eddie Hearn could win that. Yeah.
Yeah. He better. Motherfucker can't. He has yet to make a big fight for his client.
Yeah. Yeah. He might want that
Did you
fight
hear?
also. And he might want the fight in Australia. So,
Aussie
at
also.
least obviously, if you heard Devin Haney, he said he would go out there and he would do that fight. So take him at his word. Take him at his word that he would if that presents itself.
Does Cambosa remind y'all of Pacquiao, or is that a blasphemous statement?
Who
Cambosa.
Pacquiao, you said?
Yeah.
used to spar him? You said, yeah. He
No,
sparred
I'm
with him.
saying does he like remind you a little bit of him?
Well, there's
quick
a lot of
hand.
volume. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you they sparred like 200 rounds. You can see he picked up certain things from Manny Pacquiao, and that's he's got fast feet, bro. He moves his legs pretty fast.
Yeah. What do you think will happen between prime Pacquiao versus Loma at 130?
Shit. I don't know, man.
Man, I think
That's a question.
It's a hell of a fight.
it's a hell of a fight, but I would take Pacquiao.
I would take
Pacquiao.
I would
Pacquiao
also
too.
take
Yeah,
Pacquiao too.
yeah.
I
Pacquiao,
think.
yeah, he'd win.
It'll be a
What
good
about
ass fight though.
which one will be more competitive, Pacquiao and Loma, or Tank and Pacquiao?
Which would be more
Well, it
competitive, you
depends,
said?
man. I think
Yeah.
I think
I
Pacquiao
think
versus Loma would be more competitive than
Yeah,
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 it would.
I
Pacquiao
would say
versus
so.
Tank.
Tank would be explosive, but what would happen is Tank will start getting hurt
Mm-hmm.
mid rounds. He'll start getting hurt mid rounds and probably taken out. Because
Yeah,
One thing I
Pacquiao
probably
would have.
Pacquiao, man.
One thing I was impressed by Tank is in the 12th round, he looked the same as he did in the first round. Like he was still jumping around, moving. He didn't look tired to me at all. So his gas tank is not bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean he's a well conditioned athlete, man. He's not.
Yeah.
You got to do more than that. I'm sure he's tired like any other man. When they're
Yeah.
finishing a workout, but it's a
Yeah.
routine. If he has to go 12 rounds,
Yeah.
he can do it. Now, let's see him do it with a fighter that could give him
Trouble.
more trouble than Isaac Cruz, right? That's different. That's a lot different.
It's
Does
a lot
anyone
to
buy
choose
that?
from.
Anyone buy the hand injury shit he's talking about?
Definitely. I realized that they didn't have the same thing. I was like, why is he not throwing the left?
Look,
Yeah,
I buy it, but it's not an excuse, right? Because it's
yeah,
part of
No.
fighting, right? Because
Yeah.
you're
He,
even when
he,
you punch a dude, if anybody's boxed a little bit, hit the
yeah.
bag a little bit, you know that even with gloves on, after you start whatever your limit is, your hands start to hurt,
oh yeah,
right? They
yeah,
start to
absolutely.
feel a little bit more vulnerable
Yeah.
than in the beginning. So he's going through the same thing. The guy you're going up against now, it might hurt you a little bit more because you punched me on top of the head, but that's
Yeah.
that's not an excuse why a guy is going to lose a fight. And I know this from experience because I remember when I was younger, I had to fight this kid in the silver mittens, and I felt my wrist was fucking hurting me.
Yeah.
And I remember my pops telling me, "You're paying too much attention. Once you're fighting, you're gonna see your hands going. You might feel a little pain there, but you're gonna notice your hands are just they're gonna be flying everywhere. You're not even gonna be thinking about it too much, you know." And he was right. He was right. It did
Yeah,
hurt. Don't get me wrong. It fucking hurt. But I don't think even if my hand was fully, I probably still would have fucking hurt that because I would have probably let it go with more reckless abandonment. You get what I'm saying? And so it
Yeah.
still
yeah.
ended up hurting it.
Wilder Wilder says he broke his right hand every single fight because he
Oh, I
Yeah,
emits
that's
believe him.
so much.
bullshit, though.
He emits
I
so much
believe
force
he's. I believe
when.
he hurt his hand. I don't know about broke
He
his
didn't
hand.
break it. He didn't break it. I don't think.
Yeah,
Maybe in one
No,
fight he did. Maybe like one fight.
who are you talking about? Wilder?
Yeah, I think maybe he broke his hand
Oh no,
one time.
he,
Maybe.
no. He says he breaks it every single fight because he emits so much force. Because the human,
I don't know if I
the,
buy that he breaks it every fight.
well, something like he says he hurts it every fight at least because
I mean,
he
he
emits so
definitely
much
hurts it,
force.
but breaking
Yeah,
it is a different story. Like I don't know if he breaks the shit.
yeah. Breaking your hand, man, like that many
yeah,
times, you wouldn't even be able to use it anymore. But hurting your
Yeah,
hand, I could see that. Like okay,
yeah,
you're
yeah. His
not
hand must hurt.
right
yeah.
for sure because he wouldn't even think about.
They put
I'm
screws
sure
in
he
it.
probably didn't even feel it. when he would in the fight. It's like after the fight. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's because
yo,
it's
what the
numb. It's
fuck?
like
Yeah,
numb
it's
during the
numbed.
fight.
Yeah.
They put
Hmm.
screws in his hand, and he would just bend the screws when he started punching people again.
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
And that was after the which fight was that when he had that hand injury? Was it Chris
Was that
Ariola, I
early?
guess?
Yeah.
Areola,
Well,
no,
Areola,
Areola, that was the elbow,
Oh, the elbow. Okay.
bicep.
yeah,
No, wasn't it his bicep or
bicep,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
his. I think it was his bicep and his hand. That's what I thought.
his
But
That
bicep
shit
in
was
his hand? Yeah.
crazy. He was still throwing that bitch though, so
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
tough.
that's what he has. He knows that's
yeah,
gonna get him out of the fight.
he's got no
Yeah,
other choice really but to throw it.
yeah,
He did. He just never utilized it, man. Never ever. He never utilized that part of his of what he was capable of doing. I'm telling you, man.
Except except that one fight, man. What was that fight? The first time he
Stavern.
fought Stavern, man. I thought he looked good in that fight. To be honest with you, I thought he
Yup,
looked like
he
he
did.
it's a little bit of skills. Like he just went downhill, man. After that shit.
I remember saying after that because I picked. I won't even lie. I picked Stavern to knock him
Birdman.
out. Yeah, I was
You
like,
did?
this dude is too goofy, man. He's gonna get fucking knocked out.
Stavern
Next
was
thing you
not
know,
wrong.
yeah, Stavern knocked out Ariola at that time, so I
Yeah,
was like, he could knock this dude out. And then when he showed me that boxing display, I said, okay, if he could do this every fight, those are going to turn into knockouts.
yeah,
You know, the 1-2s are going to turn into knockouts. I saw him using his jab like a radar. You
yeah.
know, he did it. I'm not saying he was fucking, Tommy Hearns in there, but he had the right plan. Set up the
Yeah,
1-2.
he's fighting
What
off
if
his
Jab.
back
Tommy
foot
Hearns?
too.
What if
Yep.
Tommy Hearns had Deontay Wilder's body?
Well, he would have been Deontay Wilder at heavyweight, knocking out just about everybody.
Yeah, he
But the
would
only
have beat
problem
just
is
about
that
everyone.
if he Wilder has a better chin than him, right?
Yeah,
Wilder could take a lot of hits before he
yeah,
goes out.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got a hell of a
Where
chin.
yeah, exactly. He's
Hearns
got a
had
lot of
both
heart,
bodies.
is what it is too. He's got a lot of fucking heart.
Yeah,
He could be outgunned, and he just feels that if he can hit you with that one shot,
get you out of
that's what
there.
keeps him. Yeah, that's what keeps him in the fight. Now. I wonder if he had like a fucking style like a Tommy Hearns or just like a big guy who utilizes jab,
Yeah.
overhand right, jab, right. He probably beats, as good as Tyson Fury is, he probably beats him.
Yeah,
Because,
I would
the,
agree.
the, the question is how long can you avoid the big 1-2 for 12 rounds, you know?
I mean, yeah, you can't. I mean, unless you can get him out of there like he did in the second fight.
Right,
But if Wilder
right.
fought differently, then Fury wouldn't have been able to do that to him. If the same Wilder who fought Severn was in there, it wouldn't have been as easy for him. That was a different Wilder. He'd really regressed. I feel like in his skills.
Fury
Hmm.
Fury is a unicorn. He's probably really the only dude that could probably beat Wilder. Um, at least in the heavyweight. Usyk, I don't know. You think that punch that you saw that Wilder landed on Fury that like made his fat ripple or whatever? You think Usyk could take that punch?
No,
Well,
probably not.
no, but the difference is that Usyk, his game plan is to not let you hit him like that, right? That's the
Yeah.
whole Usyk head movement, all that stuff,
Hmm.
right? So let's say, for instance, because you're gonna get hit. So if he does get hit,
Yeah.
it's not gonna have the full impact like it did with Tyson Fury, who I thought was a
Yeah.
little sloppy because Wilder was hurt and he forgot just for that moment. He forgot that Wilder he can hit you with one shot and drop you. And so
Yeah.
Wilder
The,
reminded him.
the Wilder that we saw in the first Fury fight, that's the weight. That's his ideal weight class. Like he should be around like 212 and not 240 or 230, whatever he
Yeah,
was at.
he had the worst advice ever. Like whoever was
Yeah.
advising
Too bulky.
him gave him
Just looks
terrible
stiff.
advice.
I agree, but I also disagree with only one thing, right? Because when Tyson Fury made it known that he was going to gain a lot of weight,
Yeah.
I think what Wilder thought was, oh, okay, so I know what he's going to try to do.
Yeah.
He's going to try to outmuscle me, And
Yeah.
somebody probably told him, yo, listen, I don't care how hard you hit, but if you're 215, this motherfucker's 275 or more.
Yeah.
You're fighting a man in a different weight class now, and especially if he can move, if he knows how to move. So somebody probably told him it's better that because you're long, you're a tall, long guy, you can put on muscle weight, like the kind of muscle weight that he had, basically, right? So he went from 215 in the first fight, or 210, somewhere around there, 210, 215, to about 230, 235, right? So
Right.
that's a big increase. The problem was the stamina. Obviously, you could see the stamina was
Oh
not there.
yeah, he should be
At all.
shot.
Yep.
He was down like after 3 rounds or something.
Yeah, especially the fucking the last fight. The last fight, he was, man.
He looked like
I
he was
thought he was
dead
done
in
in the
there.
second round. I thought he was done after the second round.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, he's
Yeah.
done, bro.
he shot his load in the first round, throwing all those fucking body punches and shit, and then he had nothing, and he was tired as fuck.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Still a great fight. Well,
No, it was a
But
great
Fury
fight, yeah.
though, Fury, I thought Fury looked terrible, man. Like I don't even know what he was doing. Like he just was standing there in that first round. That was not the same Tyson Fury we saw in the second fight.
no.
Because his plan was to maul and outpower Wilder. That was it. That was his plan. And that's why I say, man, can you imagine if you would have did that to Wilder at 215? Let's say Wilder would have probably, he probably would have just bared his ass, just bare him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's now if all was equal, if they were both the same size, yeah, I think Wilder knocks him out. Wilder probably knocks him out.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
But because he's so much bigger and he's elusive and he knows how to move, he can beat a guy like Wilder who's just trying to set you up for the 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
That's why I'd like to see what if Usyk. I mean, even with Usyk all his movements, if the size difference is too much for him to overcome, if he can't overcome that the difference in size with Fury, because I think he's got the skill. I just think the size difference is going to be a huge disadvantage if Usyk ever does fight him.
Yep.
Justin Trouble had it 10 round. He had Tank 10 rounds of 2.
Is he serious?
I mean, listen, man, that's his...
I don't know about that.
Get out of here, man. Come on, man. 10 rounds to 2.
To me, it was like 8-4, maybe 7-5.
No, man. Some people had him losing that fight, man.
I thought it was
see
7-5 either way. Yeah.
7-5,
7-5,
exactly.
6-6, 7-5 either way, wherever you want to go with. I thought it was that close. It was a real close fight. And again, Cruz showed me that the kid he's actually pretty good, but if you're a pound for pound fighter, you beat guys like that. You can beat a dude like that. I think the only person that maybe couldn't beat that could beat a guy like Cruz is the one that I would feel more confident. The one that would definitely school him is Lomachenko. That's assuming that Lomachenko is fine. You get what I'm saying? I'm only going by that. His last fight, he looked sensational.
Yeah, he looked
that
great
fucking Lomachenko. Yeah, he washes.
Yeah, he'll beat everyone in that whole division if he's in that condition.
If he's in that condition, you know what I'm
He
saying?
could use some dirty tactics on Loma though, like which some people have said that in the past that Cruz.
That's a good point. I will say that. There's one thing, but that's one thing that could work. But I think he's going to leave himself open for a lot of Lomachenko's best shots. And again, but we don't know that. Nobody really knows. But just the eye test, just going on the eye test, I thought Tank could do it. I think I would feel more comfortable saying the Lomachenko that beat The Lomachenko that we've always seen, but especially coming from his last fight, yeah, I think he would beat Isaac Cruz. Maybe not the same way,
Uh-huh.
but similar. Like he'll end up just totally outboxing him and maybe even stopping him late.
I
Maybe.
think I think Isaac Cruz would give Ryan Garcia hell because Ryan
Ryan
Garcia
Garcia.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't
Ryan
have the head movement like
Garcia.
Tank does. Ryan.
Ryan could
Um,
knock him out, but don't get it
yeah.
twisted. That doesn't mean Ryan's better than Tank
Tank.
until they
Yeah.
fight with each other. It's just maybe
Styles.
Styles. Yeah, maybe he walks in or he ducks into one of Ryan Garcia's left hook. Right. Let's say he ducks
Yeah.
into it. Boom, catches him. He's big enough to hurt him. Right. And
Yeah.
Isaac Cruz is small enough to get hurt by a guy that big. But yeah, I will see. Look, listen. If Ryan Garcia is serious, get in there with JoJo. Okay,
Yeah.
JoJo lost a close fight to Devin Haney, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Go fight him. Fight him
I,
next.
I I think Ryan, man, is I have the least I think he doesn't have the heart for this sport. I just think he's scared.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I think he doesn't have the heart for the sport.
He's got power and he's
I
got
mean,
speed,
yeah,
but
he's
other than
got
that,
the
what does he have?
he can box, but it's not about the physical. It's about the mental with him. I just don't think he's built. He's not built
Oh.
like that to be a fighter.
You think Ryan is a good boxer? I wouldn't say that.
I mean,
I follow
I
City.
think, well, not necessarily. I would say he's a great boxer, but he's got the physical attributes.
Yeah.
He's fast. He can, he can
Tio.
fight. He can fight, but I don't think I think he seems like a child. Like when he got dropped in
Yeah.
that fight against Luke Campbell, it looked like a little kid hitting the mat. Like he just like the
He
facial expressions
did.
and
Yeah,
shit. Like he looked like a child in there, man. Like I just don't think he can handle that shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
I still want to see
exactly,
him
man.
play. But we'll see.
I'm looking forward to see what if Lomachenko can handle Commey easily. That'll really tell us a lot about
Comey is a
his future.
strong boy. That's the one thing he has. He's very strong, man.
He
Very strong
should.
dude.
The skill gap between Loma and Comey is like from the ground to like the stars. Like that's how much of a skill gap there is between them two. So he
But
should, unless Comey catches him.
Loma
Yeah.
is always fighting with a bigger guy though. If he's at 135, so every time he's at
Yeah.
135, he's fighting a guy who's going to be bigger than him. So he's
Power
definitely
too.
could take a risk.
Yes. Definitely a risk. But he should I mean as long as he doesn't get caught, which is, it's always possible, he can outbox this dude pretty easily, even get him out of there through accumulation of punches.
Yeah, I'd say it's about 80. I'd say give it 80% that he either stops him or gets or wins the easy decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Justin Trouble said I got Comey knocking out Lomachenko.
Yeah, so now we know what he's about. He just he hates everyone.
Hey man, anything can happen in boxing.
Anything can happen, that's for sure.
Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson, but I don't think Loma's
But I think
fucking.
Loma will punish Comey. Loma will punish Comey kind of like what he did against Nakatani.
Well, yeah, he's a man on a mission. He cut his hair and everything. Loma is trying to get those belts back. He's on a mission.
Yeah, man.
But
Roy Jones is speaking highly of him on that top
I
rank,
saw that.
man.
I
I
saw
still
that
got you on
shit.
my
Yeah.
pound for pound.
He said top five. He said he even had him like top five or top one or two.
Yeah, he was even saying here. He was saying, "Look, man," and I've heard a lot of guys say this, and it's true. It's how you lose a fight, man. Like, okay, you got an official L, but if you held your own, or maybe even people thought you won, and I'm not saying that's the case with Lomachenko. I'm not
Hmm.
knocking you out of that number one spot because officially you got the loss. No, it's what do you think happened? You know.
That's how
Now, if
I
you
judge
think
my pound for pound.
yeah. Now, if you think he lost, and that's how someone goes by, I'm not here to knock it because there's never been set rules for pound. The only thing I've always understand pound for pound to be, the key parts are a guy fighting bigger guys and beating them with skills, or competing with them skill wise, or within his division, right? Each guy, you got one guy, let's say he's a welterweight, and you got another guy who's a lightweight, and the lightweight is, let's say he's dominating the top 10 guys, while the 147 pounder is winning, but he's not dominating. You get what I'm saying? He's winning those fights. He's not dominating. Maybe I would say I lean towards that 135 pounder who's actually dominating the competition,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like guys
There's not 10 people. Go ahead.
like Pacquiao is a perfect example of a pound for pound fighter.
All right. Yep. I'm going to add somebody. I don't know who this is, but I got to be careful, all right?
It's a troll. Just kidding.
Dude, how the fuck
What's up,
do I-
Miguel? Miguel. Miguel.
Laco.
Miguel going once. Okay, you out of here, Miguel. Sorry, man.
You gotta go, man.
Yeah, I won't trust that.
As far
You know
as
the
Tank
fight we need at lightweight. The fight we need at lightweight is providing Lomachenko gets past Commey. Then we need the winner of that fight against Isaac Cruz, and then Cambosos and Haney, the winner of that fight against the winner of Lomachenko Isaac Cruz.
Yeah. Triple J.
Hello?
What's going on, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
All right, man. I think this is the first time I've ever had you on a stream, right?
I think maybe we talk a little bit on BDA.
That's right. That's right, man. What's going on, bro?
Not much. Just eating, drinking.
Sounds good.
What's up? What's up, fellas?
Sounds like the good life.
Yeah, I guess. How are you?
I guess I'm doing good, man. So, what do you think about any of the topics that we are talking about? You could talk about the fight coming up Saturday night, the fights over the weekend.
I think if you take Comey's counter right away, I think he's dog food. I think Loma eats him up. And that's kind of what he does, right? He and Usyk, they take away your number one, and you have to adapt to their game, and that's hard to do. It's very hard to do. They confuse you a lot. They're I just don't see Comey lasting past 8, 9. I think he overwhelms him, and he comes
Good,
for
yeah.
he comes for. I mean, he can land that strong right hand. I mean, he was about what, a split second away from landing it on Teofimo, and he would have been laid out. I think, like it was a split shot. Teo got his off first by a split second, and I think if it was the other way around, he would have been sleeping. So
Yeah.
I think Loma would be prepared for that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I expect Loma to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? I do expect him to win. Will he stop him? I think it would have to be Loma working him pretty early. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? Like at
Yep.
least in the third round, he's got to be working this dude, and maybe stop him in the later rounds. You don't have to do what Teofimo did. What happened with Teofimo? Teofimo didn't work on a knockout. Teofimo took advantage of a guy who keeps his chin up in the air when he's coming in, and he just, he walked into a big shot that took him out. I'm not saying that Loma can't do that, but if you look at Loma, if you just look at science, little guys do not do that to bigger dudes. You know what I'm saying? They don't normally just chin check them with one punch. It's happened, but it doesn't happen like you get what I'm saying. It doesn't happen all
Yeah,
the
not
time.
like an instant, not like instantly like that. It's more like
Yeah.
a accumulation of because with Loma throws a lot of punches that people don't see coming.
Yep.
So if that's how he when he does get his stoppages, he'll throw like 3 or 4 punches in a row. Dude doesn't see him coming, and then you know fuck him up. But that's the way he can handle a dude that size. I think not like the way not a one punch type of situation.
Michael Poe, is this
Cool.
you?
My bad.
What's up, yo?
I click a button and
Yeah, I had
going
to check. I
crazy.
didn't notice my name was different, so
No, it's
Michael,
cool. It's cool, man. I just
no,
want
it's
to
the
make
right
sure he
name
wasn't.
now.
Michael P6.
Everybody already knows my full name. It don't matter. I used it too many times like an idiot, but it's like I got
It's all right,
nothing
man.
to
Don't worry
hide,
about
so
it.
what do I give a crap?
Exactly, man.
So what's
So
good?
what's up, man? What do you got? We're talking about the fight coming Saturday night. Loma, Commey,
Yep.
we're mixing it up in lightweight division.
Yeah, I've been hearing you guys. I got Loma. I got Loma. I don't. If everything goes the way it should go, then he's winning accumulation. I don't know if he'll stop him, but he should win on points. Unless he gets him out of there. Comey hits him with something big, but it should go as planned. He's on a mission. I don't know why they keep talking about these 4 queens and kings. That's like a WWE push. I mean, they completely forget that this guy exists, though. I mean, I
That's
don't
the
know.
narrative.
But he'll make
That's
it
what they
back.
want to push.
And I feel bad for Lopez because everybody says it's his father, but I think he's too mentally damaged himself that I don't know if he could ever turn around. And every time there'll
Yeah.
be adversity, he might just resort back to the way he is. I don't know, man.
I don't want to write somebody
It's
off
gonna be tough
completely,
for
but
him.
he seems the one that's well, look, to be fair, we haven't seen Tank, we haven't seen Haney or Ryan Garcia lose a fight. So, our whole technically we haven't seen him lose a
Yeah,
fight, right? Technically. But we've seen Tio, and
right.
Tio kind of like, it's kind of salty, which I appreciate. Obviously, you don't want a
Yep.
guy to be happy he lost, But at the same time, it's a lot
No,
of weird shit. He's like,
Yeah, terrible.
I won 10-2,
Yeah, that was disgraceful.
me and my dad, we know the truth. Nobody else knows it but us.
11-2.
That
That's what he
they
said.
know the
11-2.
truth.
yeah,
Yeah,
we know the truth.
Yeah,
11 2.
11-2. They thought it was a 15-round fight.
his father is
I mean,
worthless,
come
bro.
on. Look at. They said Loma was a diva, right? They said Loma was a diva, but look at what they're
Projecting.
doing, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. They're
Look at the
mixing
pot
up
calling the kettle
Loma.
black, man. Come on.
They're mixing Loma being competitive and probably a mean motherfucker at the same time as being a diva. No, the diva is you.
Yeah, you're the
He's
diva.
saying, look, man,
Yeah,
all right, I want a
exactly.
rematch. Let's run this back, bro. I want to fight you. Let's see what happens again. Where this
I don't think
guy's
he's
like,
disciplined.
No, he's not disciplined. Not in the sense that, he makes like, look, he's got a good build, but what does it take to have a nice build? Just keep yourself in good shape, right? Work out, shit like that. But boxing, being
that's
in
the
boxing
easy part.
shape,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the easy part. Being in boxing shape is harder. You got to be mentally and physically there at the same time. Well, I mean, both of them take care of each other. If you're mentally stable, you're gonna keep yourself physically fit. So
True. He's not mentally stable. That's the problem. I
Yep.
think he got really keyed up for that fight, and he made sure to do the best he could. I still think it was a draw, but if anybody looked at those scorecards, throw out the Julie Letterman card. The other 2 scorecards made no sense. 9-3 against Loma, and the other one was 8-4. If nobody could see the writing on a wall, he got a push from Bob, and he threw it. He squandered
he got
that.
a push from Bob, exactly. Even if you thought he won the fight, even if you thought he won the fight,
Fight.
I'm pretty sure you didn't
You
have
got to
it
push.
9-3 or 11-1. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'm gonna
Yep,
say, man,
exactly.
Shit
So
was
you didn't
razor
see it
fights
though.
like that.
Yep.
I try to tell people that, but everybody thinks I'm a hater. I'm not a hater, man. I call it the way I see it. That's just it. You know.
People
But
say that he got killed in that fight. He got beat up. Like it's just
he
not
didn't
what I
get killed
saw.
though.
No, I know he
Nah,
didn't.
of
He
course
That's not
didn't.
what
not,
I
But
man.
that's
saw
what they
either.
say. They
Yeah.
say that. Though.
Yep.
Look, I didn't like the way he fought in that Teo fight. Personally, I
Not,
didn't.
not,
No.
not at all.
I didn't.
Not at all.
But I didn't see a guy getting his ass whipped. Nah, I just saw a guy losing. If he lost the fight on inactivity, I
He
had it a
lost to
draw.
activity.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
lost
Lack
to
of
activity against lesser inactivity. But when Loma turned it up, who actually accumulated points by
He
hitting?
was winning
It was
when
Loma.
he turned it up.
yeah. When it turned into a boxing match where you got two guys
Yeah.
fighting, we saw who was the better
Yep.
fighter, and Teofimo knows that,
Yep.
and that's the dishonesty that I don't like. Look, I get it. It's a single man sport, But now you're trying to troll, and then you drop the ball. Basically, you
Yep.
go on there against a guy you should have taken care of business with a long time ago, and he goes out there and he
Yep.
outworks you.
Yep.
He outworks you and beats you.
Yep. Now
And
everybody wants Cambosis because they think it'll be easy, but maybe that guy may have his head on straight, and he might be tough
That's right.
every fight. So you never know.
Yep.
he
So
looked like a hell of a fighter.
really did, and now he's crawling back to Bob, and Bob ain't gonna take him back that easy. He might be careful next match. He might lose on points.
Bob's gonna feed him to the wolves.
Exactly. He's done it before.
Oh, okay. You want to go to Triller? Bet.
He's
I'm gonna
done it to
put you in the
Pacquiao.
grave.
He screwed Pacquiao when he was around.
Nah, you don't. Anybody who spars with Pacquiao over 100 rounds isn't going to make it easy for anybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's just not.
When he dropped Teofimo, he I thought he made Teo look bad. I mean, the way he landed that right hand, it was like it looked very good for him, very bad for Teofimo.
Bunch of nerds on this, man. Fuck
Yeah,
off, man.
true.
Bunch of nerds on the panel. Jeez, this guy, he's a troll. Look at this goofy. Look at this goofy fucker. He looks like a
6 in the
fucking
morning.
fly with a
I am a
goatee.
nerd.
Nice fucking sunglasses, dude.
Goofy
He
fuck.
looks like he smuggles kids, right? I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
Hey guys, listen. I gotta run for like 10 minutes.
Who
You guys can
smuggles
hold it
kids?
down.
I look like I smuggle kids?
No, not you, man. This
No,
guy right
you
here. I'll
do
show
need
you.
that.
Right here, Michael Cole. This guy.
This guy. Oh,
I'll
brother.
hold it.
Oh, brother.
Go take a shit. Go take a nice shit. What you
Recognize
guys wanna
tap
talk about?
dancing.
I'm tap dancing.
Wanna ask
Man, I just
Slugger
got up.
Sam.
Slugger Sam, what's up? What up, man?
Slugger Sam, listen.
Yo,
How
what
you doing,
up?
buddy?
What's good? What's good?
Yo,
Listen, I
Slipper
gotta step
Sam in the
away.
house.
I gotta step away for like about 10 minutes. Now you behave yourself, Slugger Sam. I don't want to come back and my channel shut down. All right?
I promise to be on my best behavior. I won't use any bad words, and I'll use nice words. I promise.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, you can be
Bye,
combative,
Mr.
but
Frank.
just keep it
Keep it PG.
Exactly. There you go.
There we go.
I'll be right back.
I just won't be myself. It'll be better. It'll be better that way. I won't be myself. What's going on, everybody? What's up with the panel? Mike from Boston. That's my man right there. You know?
What's up, buddy?
I saw you last night, man. Was that you on the boxing section? You in the boxing section last night?
Yeah. I went on the boxing section last night, and I caused a big chaos because
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, I said that Teo, based off the performance I seen from Tank and Teo in the past 2 weeks, I think that Tio would beat the hell out of Tank. And they all got pissed at me, man. They all came for my neck. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about. Tank is the man. Tank would kill Tio. I said, all right, man. I just started a war. I started a war.
Well,
Is
that's
is this
channel.
from the same group of people who think Tank moves up to 140 and beats Josh Taylor?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah. It would be the same group. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I just, I mean, Triple J, I wasn't really thinking of all of that. I heard them, they said something about Tank, and I just, I told them, I'm like, he's not the man, you guys got it all wrong. You thought he's the man, he's not the man. I personally felt like Pitbull exposed him. That's what I saw, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. He won. He didn't just expose him. He won.
That's what I thought too, Triple J. I thought Pitbull won the fight, but they're going by what the
A lot of
judge gave
people are
them.
saying that, Slugger.
Yeah, that Pitbull won. You mean?
No. A lot of people are saying that the other guy won against Davis, but
Yeah, Pitbull. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it could have been
Pitbull,
7-5.
whatever. Yeah, no.
It could have been 7-5.
But Tank's fans say he won 10-2 easy, so I don't know what to fucking think anymore.
Those people, man, they're not living in reality.
Yeah, I don't see it being a 10-2. Like, if anything, maybe a draw, maybe, but nothing more than that for Tank, though. You know what I mean?
I could see it if it was 7-5 either way. I mean, I guess I could understand that, but nothing more than that. I mean, like,
Hey,
it
Slugger
was
Slam.
very close fight.
Sam,
Yeah.
who does this sound like? Listen real quick. Who does it sound like?
Echo.
Hey, yo, what's your problem over here, Real Breed? I'm trying to behave myself. You trying to get me riled up into get my character, and then you reckon I'm gonna be pissed at all of us, right? Come on.
Does it sound like you?
Your
Slugger,
character.
where you from?
Who, me?
Look at the flag. Come on.
Slugger,
You think
from
I'm gonna?
Boston?
No. Look at the
Boston.
flag on my picture. No, the flag on my picture.
I can't see it. It's not enlarged.
Oh, it's too small.
Small. I can't see
I'm
it.
from the great. Listen, I'm from the great north, the country that's superior. The country that's yeah. Yeah, but
I can't argue. I left America, dude. Not for any political reason. I just couldn't.
Oh, you know
afford it.
what? I was kind of happy.
Over in Europe, so.
Look,
I was kind of happy that they opened up the border last week. So I finally got to cross in like almost a year and a half, man. So yeah. No, I hear you, Mike.
Damn.
hey,
No,
I thought
I've been everywhere across the country to Texas, everywhere.
Yeah.
I got family
Go
in
ahead,
Texas,
go ahead.
Michael. Yeah. So, did I cut somebody off?
Dude.
Go ahead. Go.
Great State of Texas. I thought Cruz
Go ahead.
did
No, I was
better.
gonna say I've been to Texas.
Yeah, Michael, I got in
Yeah.
San Antonio. San Antonio, I got family.
I was in Houston, but only for WrestleMania. And I went to the after party. My brother used to wrestle for the WWE, so I took his ticket because his kid went too, and he was sick. So I just went down to the ballroom for the after party. That was the Rock's last WrestleMania, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe he came back again.
You said your brother? Who's your brother?
Justin Credible from ECW. Then he went to WWF. Early 2000s. I don't know if you know.
That sounds very familiar, actually, for some reason.
Just incredible.
He had a shaved head, goatee.
Yeah, the guy from I remember him. The guy from Connecticut. And no, I remember the name now when you brought him up. The guy from
that's
Connecticut.
where I'm from, Waterbury, Connecticut. Waterbury, Connecticut. That's my brother.
Yeah.
He's still in America. We all bailed after my wife died. We said my parents always wanted to come to Portugal after their retirement. With all our money pulled together, we sold the house. We live like kings here. Instead of paying almost $2,000 for mortgage a month, pay like $350. The rest of that money is just fucking smooth sailing. You know?
I'm paying close to that shit for my mortgage, man.
Oh, it's crazy now,
dude.
man.
My dad couldn't handle it. It's really hard in America, really.
Oh, real estate is crazy.
It's hard
man.
everywhere, but
yeah,
it
man,
makes no sense, right?
It went up here. It went up here more than 100%, man. I remember here in Windsor, 5 years ago, you could buy a home. You can buy a $90,000 home, and bring it down to like 75,000. Those $90,000 homes now, they're starting at 300, and then they're going up to like 400. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yep.
I should have made a move when I could have, man.
Are crazy. The taxes were
Like
so
Sam,
high
what are you talking
that
about?
when we first bought the house.
Yeah, man, what the fuck? Where's this going?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Going off on a tangent. My bad.
I told Slugger Sam
Let's
to
just
be on
say-
his best
let's
behavior.
just say the prices went up.
Hey, recognize I am over here, huh? Would you relax down a bit?
Nah,
We are. We're all
behaving,
respectful
man.
gentlemen.
We were talking
Hey,
real estate.
No, we did.
Slugger
rec-
Sam,
my bad.
with all due respect, you sound like a 50-year-old Johnny boy who's a fake Italian. Just throwing that out there.
Bro, I don't sound like Johnny Boy. Like, come on, man. Don't like. The thing is, don't.
Take it
What's
easy.
the word?
Charlie.
What's the word I'm trying to look for here? Like, don't
Characters.
be. No. Don't be. Hold on.
Characters.
Don't be mediocre. Not mediocre. What's the word where like you're kind of ignorant? Don't be ignorant. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't go around calling.
Hypocrite.
No, not a hypocrite. Just because he's Italian, I'm doing an Italian accent. Don't say I sound like Johnny. You know what I mean? Because then I'm gonna say because you wear
don't sound like
Do
Johnny,
a real
believe me.
accent.
hold on
I
a second.
don't
Because
understand.
Triple J, it's only gonna let me say because you wear skinny jeans. You're like the other pillow biters, huh? Do you like that? I like that. You like pillow biters because you wear skinny jeans, huh?
Oh,
Take it
gosh.
down a notch. Don't compare me to Johnny. Don't compare me to Pigeon, or I will get on your ass. All right?
Oh
Compare
boy,
me to
this
those.
is all right.
Don't do that. Don't do
isn't
that.
Pigeon the guy who always looked like he was taking a shit in some like random toilet?
Oh,
Like, you'd
Pigeon,
have
I
the
wouldn't
camera
doubt
on,
it.
He was sitting down.
I
He
wouldn't
looked
doubt
like
it.
he
He's
was in a
done all
toilet in
kinds
a
of weird
restroom.
stuff. Oh, he's done everything, Pigeon. He's done every weird thing you could think of, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
Let's
that's
not
what
talk
it
about
looked like. I
Pigeon.
don't
Let's talk about the fights, man. Let's talk about the
get
fights
out of
on.
there.
All right, let's get back. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Much as
Ricky. Sometimes we get a let out of line. You know this, huh? We don't mean nothing by it. You just get a let out of line, huh?
Yeah, you're all right. You're all right by me.
Go
I
get
don't
your
care what
but
people
sound box.
recognize
I don't care what people say about you. You're all right by me.
recognize when you left. I was telling the guys that I stirred up a big problem yesterday at the boxing section because I was saying that Tio, based off what I seen, Tio would beat the shit out of Tank. Based off the performance from both guys, and I had the whole panel come at my neck, man. Everybody was pissed off at me.
Well, I mean, if they fought each other, we can find out for sure. Man.
Yeah, if they fought, but I don't know,
Which
man.
Tio shows up.
I just think Tank got exposed, and I really don't think he even deserves to be at 135, man. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna judge him based off one fight, but I don't know, man. He really looked really bad, man. Really bad.
All right. So he doesn't belong at 130. Where does he belong?
Well, he's having a hard time making 130, right?
Right, but he gets killed at 140.
No, I'm not saying go to 140.
That's what he says.
But
So
where
go to
would he go?
147?
Where's he
Like,
going?
Where do you go?
But that's what I'm saying.
135. You can't make 130. You get killed at 140.
So you saying, oh, I know what's loving.
Where do you go from
you
here?
want him to do the catch? He wants him to do the catch weight. That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's man.
No, I don't want it. Well, you know what? Who's his master? Recognize. Who's his master?
Well,
His master.
Shoot weight.
Yeah, Floyd's gonna tell him, "Hey, man, pull that shit I was pulling."
No, I meant to Tio.
He's talking about Tio Fimo. Yeah.
Oh no, I was talking about Tank.
I
don't
really want to move up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, Tio. Tio
Tio
said
doesn't
he
want to move up either.
Well, he said it in the post fight, right? He said he's like, I'm gonna move up to 140, right?
Tank said that.
No, Tio.
Frank, I think
Tio.
precise.
Tio to 140.
Michael, are you on a fucking delay or so? Are you using Windows 98? Come on, I gotta be nice to you here, but I gotta kick your ass. Are you using Windows 98 on your delay?
No.
Who the fuck's on a delay over here? You're driving me insane. I'm talking about Tank, you're talking about Tio. I'm talking about Tio, you're talking about Tank. You guys are driving me crazy over here, huh? I don't got time for this shit all fucking day.
I apologize.
Recognize would you get your goddamn panel under control? For crying out loud.
It was under control.
Tank it doesn't matter who you're talking about because Tank and Tio both get their asses kicked at 140.
Yeah, if they fight.
So where did they go?
I don't know. I really don't think Tio would get beat up at 140.
He gets murdered at the champion level.
Well,
we're talking Josh Taylor, Ramirez. What are we talking?
Well, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he gets severely injured because his dad is an idiot. He doesn't know how to give instructions. And he's already a weight bully at 135. What's he do at 140? He's
nothing.
He's going to get very hurt. Fighting the top competitors.
Let me address something to you guys real quick, okay? And I don't know if I'm like the only guy in the boxing world, that thinks like this, but if you go back to 2003, Bernard Hopkins fought remember Hakkar? Ahmed Hakkar or something like that.
Who? Who are you talking about again?
A guy by the name of Hakkar.
Go ahead.
Who fought him?
Bernard Hopkins.
I don't.
Okay, well, anyways, I'll get
to
a
lot of bombs. Yeah.
Anyways, let me get to my point. So Hopkins fought Hakkar, and the man on Brandon's picture, and the man on Brandon's picture, Larry Merchant, he told him, he's like, blah blah whatever, and then he told him, he's like, I want to call out junior middleweights, and he's like, aren't you embarrassed, the middleweight champion calling out junior middleweights? And Hopkins goes, he's like, 10 years ago, we didn't have this shit. We had welterweight, middleweight. He's like, why are people crying about a 5-pound difference? You get what I'm saying? We make such a big deal out of 135 to 140. What? It's saying 135 to 168, man. We're not talking nothing crazy. And I can name you a couple of guys that I think Tio would hurt, man, at 140.
I'm sure he could beat some people there, but it's going to be.
Let's start with Mario.
Really hard.
Let's start with Mario Barrios. Let's start with Mario.
Wants to.
I think he does that to weight bully because he sees he only got power.
Correct.
B-Hop's a fucking boring piece of shit.
Fight, but I think he's afraid.
What's up, Durden?
That's it.
Hey, what's up, family? YTBC.
What's up, family?
What's up?
What do you think about all this craziness in this chat?
I got there late. I was talking to a woman for a while, but
nice.
Jesus. I was looking forward to being on this live, but I'm a little late, man. A little late.
All good.
Anyways, I mean, I don't know. I mean, even what's the topic at hand now?
We were talking about Loma, Commey. We were talking about Tio. Can he go up to 140?
Well, if Loma loses to Commey, me and L-Dog agreed he's probably going to retire if he loses. But I don't expect him to lose. I don't expect him to lose, so there's that. I expect him to win. Like I said, who's going to fight Loma though? I mean,
if he wins, who's going to fight him? I mean. Nobody on the 130. Nobody that's
none of the four kings, right?
No. Probably they more likely won't fight him. There's Shakur
Everybody wants
Stevenson.
Cambosis or something. Like they feel like that's like easy work, but it's like I don't know, man. I don't think that guy's easy work. He looks pretty good, man.
No, that's going to be a good fight. I think Loma beats him, but I think that's going to be a good fight. I think that.
Shit, I think he might beat Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia's calling out Cambosis like, oh, like you know, you see some
Well,
like
everybody's
easy
trying
fucking.
to get that fight. You got Eddie Hearn. They're trying to make the fight for Haney, but I think it all depends on like location, money, all that stuff. You know.
Yeah, but why would you be afraid of Teofimo and not this guy when he just literally took Teofimo to school?
Because he doesn't have one punch knockout power.
But he might. That's even worse though when he embarrasses you with boxing skills.
Yeah, it is.
He looked better than Devin Haney.
That might happen.
So
he looked better than Devin Haney that night. Like he looked better than Devin Haney does on an average night. Some people say Jojo Diaz did pretty good.
He did.
Well, yeah, he beat him.
I mean, look at Tank. Tank looked like shit against Tank looked like shit against some guy I've never fucking heard of.
Do you say JoJo beat Devin?
No, I'm saying that he made him look vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got buzzed a couple of times.
That's a better word.
Close fight though.
It was a close fight, is what I'm saying, and even this Cruz guy.
Somebody else said that too.
Made it a close fight.
Okay, I thought somebody said that JoJo won, but that's going too far. He did good. I'll give you that, but it's not too crazy.
I just think all the big dogs in that division are on check right now, man.
Yeah. The last 2 weeks, it's been an eye opener how good these 4 Kangs are, or whatever, 5, 7.
I'd say
Depends
4.
on who you ask.
I mean, Devin didn't look too good.
Can we stop calling them kings? Can we stop calling them kings, please?
Well, I mean, we're not calling them kings. We're just going off of like
potentials?
I mean, Devin. At least Devin stepped up in competition.
How about we just call them stars? You know, stars. That's all they are.
Yeah, JoJo is not a bum.
Getting pushed stars.
So like,
How about this? How about
it's a good win.
Actually, that's perfect. The mental patience. I like that one.
How about mental
patience? Their mental patience.
Yeah, they want them to be like the past, but it's like, dude, it's not there, or it's not there yet. Calm down.
They're big prospects, is what they are.
Yeah, you gotta.
I had a good analogy, but
you gotta beat good opponents, man. You gotta like take over the guys that were there, you know, and okay, you could say Haney beat Linares, but Linares already had been dethroned.
Bend over.
Linares made Haney look bad.
Especially
so did Jojo Diaz. Ryan Garcia is afraid to even fight anybody. And then Tank ain't fighting nobody. He almost lost this fucking fight.
Tank lost that fight.
No, he did.
Some are saying that, you know, but
no, I think anybody with 2 eyeballs are saying that.
I would say it's an L that he didn't knock him out because everybody fucking thought that was
it doesn't matter about knocking out. He lost the fight.
Yeah,
okay, that's a minority of people who think that. Most people.
Well, why do you have to knock an out opponent to win a fight now?
Exactly. That's.
I'm saying it's a loss on his part that he didn't knock him out because everybody was expecting a sheer knockout from Tank Davis, and he didn't even look like that. Like, it's just the expectations of Tank Davis weren't there.
Okay.
I think all of us, even the MXPC, everybody. We all thought that was going to end in like under 5 or 6 rounds, man. We were like surprised that it even fucking went.
Yeah, I think all of us did it. Cruz did he did great. He won the fight to me.
No,
I mean they're discussing a rematch
in every aspect.
He did good. He didn't win.
He won.
He didn't win. You're absolutely right. He didn't actually win the fight, but he made Tank look less of a star than he was.
No,
he got robbed. It's just people, he got robbed.
People hate Floyd so much, so they automatically project that on Tank. So if the guy he's fighting,
There's a reason to hate
what it
Floyd,
is,
man.
son.
I mean,
That's
okay,
what
let me
it
finish.
is.
is there not a legitimate reason to hate Floyd?
Look at that
Let me
stupid
finish.
hairpiece.
Let me finish. So like, if
Floyd is in
opponent
the
looks
ring
That
semi
alone.
fighting
good,
now. Still,
when you have an
what is
opponent that
this
I
looks
crowd
kid
semi
ain't.
talk
good against
about?
this fighter, they're gonna
Why
automatically talk about
why did Floyd even schedule that fucking fight the same
it.
weekend that Top Rank and Golden Boy and Matchroom were all doing fights? Why did he have to fucking clout chase and make it about himself? And why did he have to talk about how Canelo wouldn't be who he was today if he didn't fight him? What is that shit about?
I mean, they
Does
did
Floyd
actually
really take credit for
People
Canelo's
hate.
I don't know.
success?
People hate Tank because
remember.
Floyd's
Remember.
his
Remember when
daddy.
they asked.
What is
Remember when they
going
asked
on?
Canelo what would happen if they fought today? Canelo said he would have nothing for me. I'd destroy him. So
I
naturally,
still pick Mayweather.
Floyd, yeah, well, some people will
Really?
take Canelo. So like,
What's up,
so
Precise?
If
Floyd
they were
is
the
Or
same
good
age, I'd
against
have Mayweather.
the four clowns, whoever you are.
What's up,
Four clowns.
everybody?
Precise.
What's
What's
up,
up,
Somebody
Precise?
with
Precise?
no.
the.
I got a question
Oh,
for Precise.
oh shit.
What's up,
Precise,
princess?
Precise. What's up, man?
Precise.
Let's try
aka
to
Fight
calm your
Night.
ass down.
You
Get at
sound
Gregory,
him!
go
like
Get
ahead.
at him, Precise! Get him! Get him!
corniest
No,
old man ever, man. Just stop.
no.
You're not funny. You're not cute. You're definitely not smart, man. You're definitely not smart. So just stop while you're ahead, bro, please.
Hey, Precise.
Gregory, go ahead. Ask your question to Precise. Go ahead.
Okay,
Oh,
because I see some of your videos. You basically
uh-oh.
think everything is a conspiracy. So I want to ask you, what's real in boxing?
Nothing.
Where did I say that everything's a conspiracy?
You basically say,
Not a whole
"Oh,
lot.
this guy basically dived," or "This fight wasn't real." This guy's a marrow bum. So who are the real fighters?
I've
Tell me
never
that.
I've never said I've never said this guy was this guy, like, you know, if you're gonna ask a question, at the very least have the decency to be specific and actually
Okay, so
represent
you
what I
called Tank
said.
Davis. Let me finish. You called
A
Tank Davis a
Namero
marrow
bum. He's a
bum.
Namero bum. Yes, correct.
Okay, so I want to know, who do you consider like the actual good fighters?
I never said he wasn't a good fighter. I said
The ones that
like,
fight each other
how
for
long
You
have
money.
you
know
been
what I
watching
mean. Like,
boxing? How long have you been
just
watching boxing? Question.
just answer the question. You know what I mean.
So how long have you been watching boxing? Like a couple of months?
You already
Because,
know.
you know, like, let's say about 15 years ago, there was this, people still use the term, but this term Eurobum was going around, and guys like Carl Froch were considered Eurobums, you know what I mean? So like,
Uh,
just to call someone an Ameribum, just to give you some context, right? Since you haven't been watching boxing that long, to call someone an Ameribum, that doesn't mean they suck. It just means that they're protected. They don't. They're not as good
Overhyped.
as advertised. Exactly, they're not as good as advertised, and they don't. They don't fucking train to the best of their ability. It's actually, in certain cases, you could call it a compliment. Even, I mean, maybe a backhanded compliment, but a compliment nonetheless. I think Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. I think they're extremely talented fighters. They're just protected, and they don't perform to the best of their ability because they don't have to, because they're protected and they're divas. You know, they're Amero bums.
do
Yep.
you like?
They're
Do you
not
consider
thrown in with the
any?
best.
Do you consider? Hold up. Do you consider any of the up and coming fighters from America good? Like,
I just told you they're good fighters. Well, like, what's
oh no, like
do you
not
do
protected. I
do
mean,
you
that's what I
do
meant
you?
to say.
I
Not
mean, I
protected?
don't know.
I don't think so. I think there's not that many fighters from America who have potentials who are not being matched in a way that you would consider it being protected. You know, in other words, fighting guys at the right time or fighting, the right time for them, wrong time for the other
You
guy.
might end up like
I mean,
Devin
to
Haney.
ask that question, like, no offense, get offended. I don't give a fuck. To ask that question is to betray a complete understanding of boxing. Like, boxing is a
Right.
business, right? If you're investing in these young men, of course you're going to protect them. Why? Because you protect your investments. Like,
Exactly.
the things that I say should be matter of fact and obvious. And the simple fact that you don't get this shit, man, that's not my fault,
It's not
bro.
even boxing, dude. It's not even boxing. All sports are this way. All
Yeah.
all professional sports with millions and millions of dollars involved are exactly what
Not this
Precise is talking
bad.
about.
Not this bad.
It's
Well,
it's not even
boxing's
because
worse. Boxing's the worst, probably. But even the
Yes.
NFL and the NBA and the MLB, They pick their
Yeah, yeah.
favorite that make them money, and that's who they
Yeah, but they
protect.
got a lot of more like games down the
It's
line, bro. It's not the same thing. You can make or break somebody in one night and
Okay,
ruin their
so
whole
like,
career.
hey,
Difference with
recognize. Can I
boxing.
but
get into
it's
baseball for a second? Can I get into baseball? You
Quickly,
guys
go
know who
ahead.
Trevor Bauer is?
Go.
Go ahead.
yep.
Trevor
Yeah,
Bauer,
I
pitcher
know.
for the Los Angeles Dodgers,
No.
Cy Young Award winner.
Nope.
Right,
Baseball dead, man.
he exposed the sport. He's told that
Yeah.
everybody that the pitchers are cheating. They're putting sticky shit on the fucking baseball to make it spin more. That's why they're getting more strikeouts now.
Oh,
He was the
yeah.
one to expose that shit.
Probably.
Guess
Yeah.
who gets fucking kicked out of the sport? Trevor
You did.
Bauer. You know what I
You got
mean?
kicked
Yeah,
out. Yeah,
like
yeah.
American fighters load their gloves and they get away with this shit. And I fucking documented and proved this shit. But people say, it's a conspiracy theory. I mean, I don't fucking know who's involved in this shit. To call it a conspiracy theory, it's like you're saying, I'm saying it's like an elaborate scheme and shit. All I'm saying half the time is, this is what's happening. If you can't see it, it's not my
It
fucking fault. But
if
people can't see
Pretty
like the shit
obvious.
that's right in front of their fucking
It's
face,
pretty
and then they call
obvious.
it a
if
conspiracy theory. Like, you don't even know what
Yeah.
fucking conspiracy means. It's
I
sad.
I
It's
have
not a
always looked at it
conspiracy.
like
It's right in front of you.
if
Easy to see.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've always looked at it like if money can be made, it can be rigged. If
Yes.
politics can be rigged, something as little as sports as well can be rigged.
So
It doesn't matter the level.
Dude, I know people. I know people who
It's
believe in
the
conspiracy theories on the world stage. Pulling it off on a massive scale, but don't believe that sports falls into that category. When you're dealing with money, remember, you're dealing with a
the,
lot of money. You're dealing with a
a
lot of
lot of
gambling.
money.
Uh, yeah,
You're
so
talking
so
about
you're talking
billionaires
about
who
people
own
that could.
teams.
Yeah, of course, man. You're talking about
Yeah, yeah,
billionaires.
yeah.
These billionaires invest in gambling. Also, they invest in gambling. So does the promoters in boxing. Okay, so to say that fights can't be fixed,
Crazy.
I think that's crazy. Yeah, I think that's just
so
insane.
yeah. So
But when
precise.
you really think about
That's
it,
the
like
easiest sport.
90 to 95% of fights are fixed. Now, what I mean by that, right, is
They are.
whenever there's like an up and coming prospect or whatever, he doesn't have a real fight till look at Deontay Wilder. He didn't have a real fight till he fought maybe Luis Ortiz. And I'm
Yep.
not saying that the other guy is always lying down or it's always orchestrated where he can't win. They just pick dudes that don't have a fucking prayer in hell. That's a fixed fight. You know who's gonna win that fight, right?
So
It,
precise.
it,
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Herring Stevenson fight was predetermined?
Your,
which
your
fight?
mic is real low, rare breed. What you say?
Herring Stevenson.
Okay,
I believe
you
there's a
saying?
very good possibility. See, the default every if we lived in the world of not sheep, but and I'm not talking about you specifically, but people who are awake, the default position would be all fights are fixed, like I just proved to you more or less. Prove me wrong. That should be the default position should be, can you prove this fight was real? Okay. Now I'm not gonna outright tell you that that shit was fixed, but there's plenty of evidence that Herring did not come to win. I mean, the simple fact that Shakur Stevenson is promoted by or represented by the guy that he's represented by, if that doesn't make you think, then I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like,
No, I agree.
why is a gangster involved in boxing? To ensure that the game is run ethically, or maybe the opposite? Like, I mean, this is like simple, basic shit. You know what I mean?
Do you think Triple
Well,
G's fight
precise,
was fixed?
precise. To be fair, I have to say this. All right, Jay Prince, I think you're a fair
No.
guy. No, time out. I'm speaking for myself. I think he's a fair guy. I think he gets a bad rep, but continue. Go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah.
like these
I
types
don't
of
want no problems.
questions,
In other
like,
words,
do you think? Be specific. Which fight? And give me a
No, 'cause
reason why
I
you think
think
it was fixed, and I'll tell you if I agree or disagree. You know,
okay.
like, do you think Triple G's fights are fixed? Which fight?
Because I'm asking these questions because it seems to me that you're biased for Eastern European fighters.
Okay, but you know,
Well, wait. Eastern Europeans are
Yeah,
coming up, and they're
me
doing
too.
big
I
things
live
in
in
They
Ukraine
are
boxing.
too.
doing good. Nobody's denying they're doing good, but he just seems biased. Like
Are
everything
they
that
yeah,
not being used
but
though?
look,
Are they not being used?
anytime anybody says that type of thing, usually, generally, in my experience, they're projecting the bias that they have. You know, so
Right.
like you're biased for
Yes.
American fighters. So like
Exactly.
speak
yes,
about yourself, bro.
I
Talk
root.
about
Yes, I root.
yourself. Talk about how you feel, right? Talk about facts. Just to like come on here and say, "Oh, you biased." That doesn't fucking mean anything. Like, do you have an example of bias? Do you know what bias even means? Could you define the word if I asked you right now?
Well, for
Probably
one, you
not. So
didn't
it's
deny
like
it.
it's,
For one, you didn't deny it, so we can start there.
Yeah, you're going against all
He
odds on
obviously
American
knows what the word
soil,
bias
and
means, right? If he's going to
dominating.
use it, right?
I mean, for one, you didn't deny it precise, so we can start there.
Yeah.
but why would look? Call me a racist and see what I'll say. I'll say thank you.
No, I
Go
mean, I
fuck
don't care if
yourself.
you're racist, but
Which is
at
not.
least, at least
I
be
can
like, oh,
tell.
dog, he's honest. He's biased for Eastern European fighters.
Like
That's L Dog. Who
I'm
gives a
biased
shit?
for like give me an example of bias in favor of
I've
Derevianchenko.
never seen you say, "Oh, Triple G, his opponent laid down for him," or Lomachenko.
Why would guys lie down for a foreigner that's fighting? Like, do you
Why
not
not?
get how this shit works,
Why not?
Exactly. That's
Maybe
what
bro?
they've
maybe
been
Like,
Barbarian
saying
wants to
too.
push. Maybe
if
Barbarian wants to push the Eastern European
if
fighters.
Americans were going to Kazakhstan and fighting Triple G, then we probably be talking about bias against American fighters. It's like, come on, man! Like, you got to do better than this. You really got to do better than this. This isn't that difficult. It really isn't that difficult. So give me an example of
Well,
bias. Give me an example of bias for Eastern European fighters, or specifically Triple G. And even if you could give me an example of bias for Triple G, that doesn't automatically transfer to all Eastern European fighters because the fucking
Well,
guy
to
is
be
Asian.
honest, is Triple G even fucking Eastern European? He's
No, he's
not.
not. He's not.
Well, for one, you hate Canelo because he beat Triple G, or you
Oh,
think
here we
all the
go.
other.
Whoa.
Here we go.
here
I
we
don't even
go.
like
I
Canelo.
don't hate
Well,
Who did
Canelo.
I?
listen,
I don't hate Canelo
All
personally.
right. Who did I have winning the second
I kind
Canelo
of hate.
Triple G fight? Who did I have winning that fight?
I mean, that's okay, but ever since
Who?
then,
Hey, question. Who did I have winning the second Canelo Triple G
I
fight?
had Triple G, by the way.
Who did I have winning?
I had Triple G too.
The guy saying that I'm biased. Who did I have
Yeah,
winning?
he did say he thought Canelo won the fight.
A million fucking times. If I hated
Yeah.
Canelo so much, why would I say this? Why would I say he beat Lara if I
okay.
hated him so much? Why would I say he beat Trout? Why would
I
I
don't
say
doubt it.
like?
No,
How is this?
I don't even know about who you
Right.
had.
So you don't know, but you make these grandiose assertions about me, but you don't even know. So you just told on
Well,
yourself.
well, all your videos, your recent videos about Canelo are about him, or you basically say that the Cato plant wasn't a real fight,
It
right?
wasn't a real fight, in my opinion. Yeah. You saying it was a real fight, right?
I mean,
May I ask a question?
like,
Go
Who
ahead.
besides is that Rare Breed talking?
yeah,
Yes, that's Rare Breed. Oh.
Yeah, he's a rare breed, all right.
okay.
Rare Breed is cool. He's cool. I like him. But
He's rare.
okay. So let me ask you something, Rare Breed. So in your opinion,
He's a
right?
rare
In your
breed, all
opinion,
right.
there's a push. There's a push
He's a rare breed, all right.
for Eastern European
How many
fighters, right?
times you going to say
Is
that?
that
No, there's not a push for Eastern Europe.
so? Sam, I'm not talking to you, man.
No, not now. You recognize this guy. He kept saying the same thing over and over.
All right. Sorry, Sam.
But like I've given one last thing, please, because I'm a little bit irked, I guess. I've given you like a ton of evidence, and maybe you didn't see it, and that's fine. But like from where I'm standing, I gave you a ton of evidence for why certain Canelo's fights are fixed. Tons and tons of fucking evidence. Where's your evidence that his fights are real? Because you believe they're real. Where's your evidence?
No, look, you
So
basically
do you have any evidence that his fights are real?
who Canelo?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Neither do you.
Right.
I don't even
So
know.
No, he has evidence that they're fake. That's what he's telling you.
I have a ton of evidence that they're fake. You don't have any evidence that they're real, just as you admit
Anybody
it
can
right
make
now.
up stuff
So,
to
but I'm the
prove
biased
Canelo.
one. How the fuck do you figure that?
I don't even like Canelo, but
That's not an argument. That doesn't mean anything.
no, But the only reason that you're against Canelo is because he beat your hero Triple G.
Oh my
Ah,
God!
He
Like,
didn't beat
come on,
him.
dude. Can you be gayer than this?
that's not
So
true.
Human
Rare.
beings are not
That's
very
not where he's
That
complicated
is
coming
creatures.
from,
gay.
man.
So
That's not where
like
he's coming
so
from.
so anytime you say
This
something I disagree with, all I have to say is, oh, it's because you hate this guy because he beat your hero or something along those lines, and you're
He
just gonna have to
admitted that he
accept it, right?
didn't, though. He
Look,
admitted that he didn't. So what's your argument, man?
no offense, but human beings are not very complicated creatures. It could be something very simple like that. Could be the case.
What?
Could be the case. I mean, like anything could be the case, but it's not about what you believe. It's about what you
He's
can
asking
prove,
you
man.
about evidence, dude. That's all he's asking you about.
Rare Breed, let
Jesus.
me ask you something. You ever seen a fight that looked fixed to you?
Yes, Kovalev versus Canelo.
Okay.
Okay, there you
Yes,
go.
thank you.
How about
All
Wilder
right, so
Severn?
That's where it
Was Wilder
started.
Severn not a fixed fight? I mean, that to me was
the
a clear
second
fucking
one,
fix.
it just looked like he just came to lose. Yeah, the second one was like,
A
Chase
lot of
Plant
those
Canelo didn't
fights
look
were
fixed
fake.
to me. That looked like a real fight. That's just my opinion.
hey, Vanez Motorosian, right? Said on a tweet or something that he threw the Triple G fight. It's possible. Now that doesn't mean he would have beat Triple G. It's just like he probably just said, "Fuck it, man. I mean, I'm gonna fight Triple G. I'm gonna lose anyway. Might as well bet on myself, bet against myself that I get knocked out in the second round."
Have you guys ever seen me
Shit.
say anything like to defend Tyson Fury throughout the whole fucking Glovegate thing, or like attacking the people who had this idea that he cheated, so on and so forth? I'm open to the possibility. Like I think it's very possible that
Yeah,
he
he did.
did.
Yeah, that's true.
But to me,
Yeah.
it's just like show me the
But I'm
evidence.
not.
Well, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna. If you say like Triple G's fights are fixed and you have evidence, well, okay, and what you think I'm gonna like lose sleep over this shit? You think it affects me
I never
personally?
said
Like,
his fights were fixed.
and I'm just
I'm
giving you
just
an
saying,
example. God damn it, dude! Like, you
Precise.
say,
Correct me if I'm wrong. You because of which I think is actually the right way to be, because you're skeptical of the fight game today when with all these actors and promoters, you're open to the idea that a fight could have been fixed, right? Like, or somebody cheated, there was some foul play, but you got to show evidence to that.
yeah.
You basically just
I
got to
just said
come up with some evidence.
95% of fights are fixed. Like that's just an estimation.
This,
And
yeah.
Like
I made
championship
the
fights.
definition pretty liberal, so understand that. So you think maybe some
Frank,
of
if I
Triple
could get
G's
in.
fights qualify? Maybe.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Frank,
Whoever said Frank, can I
I
get
was
in?
gonna
Go ahead.
say, there's enough evidence. There's enough evidence on Canelo's fights that if you were a police officer to get a warrant just to question him, that's an
Right.
analogy. You could get a warrant. The dude's done enough shady crap. If you have your eyes open, you know how the business works. I don't
To your
hate him
point,
because I don't know him, but I dislike him because I know he can't be beaten. He's at that stage where the money is too much to beat him. So I can't rate a guy that can't be beat unless he's knocked
well,
out cold, but they won't position him that way.
He's been beat though.
to your point, precise. Explain that video you just put up of Suleiman talking
Fucking
on, I
retarded.
believe it was barbershop conversation.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
I
that.
mean the
That was great.
WBC president is telling you that like
Oh, man.
his opponent didn't come to win. He didn't come to fight. So what does that mean?
I
Like
would
why is
question him if it was like I was allowed to, there's no political pressure not to go after certain people. My job was to expose, to arrest people for fraud, basically, right? And I was like watching people's videos, and I bumped into that one. I would question. I would summons Suleiman, based off of that. I'm like,
the
what do you mean
FBI
by
used
that?
to the FBI used to investigate all kinds of fights. It seems like they don't anymore for whatever reason. Like if there was a
It's
robbery,
always
like a
been
blatant
political, though.
robbery, the shit would get investigated. But we've
Well,
got
it was
robberies all
always
the time now.
it was. You know what it is, because it's kind of always been political to investigate. Like back in the days, remember Jake LaMotta? Like I think it was the FBI that basically got him to admit that he threw a fight. Was
Because
it
they
against
do
some
it
guy?
different now, Frank.
Yeah, they do it differently now. Exactly, they do it more.
They were worried about the mafia. Now it's different. So,
like half of main events today, or in the last 10 years, half of main events where the B side wins are robberies. Maybe more than that. When was the last time you saw the B side fighting on, the rival opponent's network, fighting the A side on their network? When was the last time you saw the B side win the fight and actually get a decision? When was the last time you saw that?
AJ versus Usyk.
Right, but that's like once in a million, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not that. It's rare. You could name.
It's very rare.
Very rare.
Do you think? Do you think maybe because boxing is such on a decline that investigations are so rare? Like A side constantly wins because of money.
I think society is just degenerating. Like the rule of
me
law
too.
is breaking down. The
Me
FBI,
too.
they're corrupt now. Like they've always been, but they're really corrupt now.
They're
Where
really corrupt now. Yeah,
they can't see crime that's right in front of them, or they just don't give a fuck. Either way, they're
I think
degenerate.
they don't give a fuck.
Probably, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
they
it.
don't care.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh shit, I'm losing.
But Tank Cruz
like
was a fixed fight. Like that clearly was the guy. Tank won what 3-4 rounds in that fight. He wouldn't even try.
A lot of people thought he lost that fight, bro. A lot of people thought that. That's what I was trying to tell Rare Breed.
Tank lost.
I didn't see it that way. I saw it like 6-6 or 7-5 either way, like that type of fight. But I'm not just gonna because I don't agree with it, say that no. I think I got it correct. I watched that fight one time, and he could have lost that fight, in my opinion. He could have lost it. I wouldn't.
I mean,
if a referee had it 7-5 for Cruz, I wouldn't be upset about that.
But the fact that they had it, two referees had it. Judges said 7-5 and one had it 8-4.
Jesus.
I mean, that in and of itself, but it should tell you in and of itself that he probably lost the fight. Because when it's a close fight, the A side gets like 118, 110, 116, 114 is the closest card, you know what I mean? And then there's 120, 108 when it's like a razor close fight. So if it's close on the cards, then he probably lost,
Or people saw what they wanted to.
Exactly, that happens a lot.
Boxing. That's pretty much boxing in a nutshell, right?
That's
what I've been noticing. I've been seeing people seeing what they want to see. All right,
I think
they're going away from what should be obvious in the sport of punching, the scoring criteria, right?
Yeah, well,
and they go away from that. And
it's natural for people to go for the underdog, and I think that people wanted the underdog to win, but Tank won that fight. If we're being objective.
Rare Breed, but let me explain something to you. It's not about whether they won the fight or not. Listen, the point is that the scorecards were there to protect Tank. It's just the way it goes, bro. It's just you can't prove otherwise. When was the last time you saw a fight that was razor close and it went to the B side? It went to the B side.
Never.
Fonseca Valdez wasn't even remotely close.
Loma
Lopez.
No, not. Well, okay.
The Loma fight should have been close.
There you go.
He already had that scrapped and ready for Lopez.
You think they rigged it for Lopez?
Of course. 11-1.
It's obvious.
No. I'm talking the last time I seen
gained from that.
It was Loma Lopez.
And then they gave it.
I'm talking about when he wasn't. But you see,
face they wanted to push.
Hold on, real quick.
And Lopez.
Yeah. He's not. Okay. Listen, he's the B side in terms of the opponents, right? the two guys in the ring. He's the B side in that sense. Everybody knows who Lomachenko is, compared to Teofimo. So they wanted to make Teofimo a star. That's in-house. That's Bob Arum. And look, I'm not saying Bob Arum rigged the score.
Right, that was
somebody over exaggerated. Okay, I think all of them did, but
promoters
11-1,
do that.
9-3.
We all know that. promoting.
11-1, 9-3, bro. And
Yeah,
even the
exactly.
8-4, bro. Even the 8-4.
Just
But
But like
especially those two.
Mayweather was
8-4.
was the B side against De La Hoya, and that fight, if they gave it to De La Hoya, a couple of people would have complained, and like
But that would have
we
been
would have
real.
moved on, But it was a
Yep.
huge B side to De La Hoya, but De La Hoya was on his way out, and Mayweather was the next in line. Like, how is this difficult? I don't understand why this is difficult.
Yeah, but to be honest, a lot of people think De La Hoya beat Mayweather.
Well, that's what I'm
No, they
saying. Like,
did, yeah.
if
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
gave
And he
it
was
to
the A
him,
side.
you know what I mean? If they gave it to him, not too that many people would have complained.
Anytime Floyd Mayweather had a close fight, people automatically thought he lost because they hate him.
Your
Wait.
your your
Red,
answer to
you're
everything
going.
is like you're
Yeah.
hating. If you disagree with me, you're biased. Come on, man. You got to do better than that. That's
You're
Red,
racist.
look,
He lost.
Manny
He
Pacquiao,
lost
right?
to
Manny
Castillo.
Pacquiao.
He
Manny Pacquiao.
somehow lost to Manny Pacquiao. He lost to who else? De La Hoya. He lost to Maidana twice, apparently.
Castillo.
No, I don't think he lost those fights. I thought he won all of them. But
5
You don't
losses.
think he lost to Castillo?
the first one was
Listen,
close.
Red,
But go ahead.
the HBO on that night, all the analysts, they all thought Mayweather lost that fight. Okay, now that doesn't say, well, let's end the argument. A lot of people thought he lost that night. Okay, they thought he didn't win, so he got the benefit of the doubt. That doesn't mean that that everybody hates him. Look, Mayweather had the Mayweather name. He was at that time he was still like prospect champion type of fighter, right? He was one of those kind of guys. They saw a lot of talent. They saw a lot of money they could make off of him. And so they gave him the benefit of the doubt in a fight that he could have lost 7-5 or maybe even 8-4. Is George Foreman a hater? He barely knew who Mayweather was at that time. He was covering other bigger fights. He just basically said, look, man, they asked him, do you think he won this fight? He said, no, he didn't win.
Maidana
But
didn't just beat Mayweather in the first fight. He whooped his ass. Like that fight wasn't even fucking close, man.
I thought
So
so
to
too.
tell me
At
that
least he
Mayweather won
ran
the
it
fight,
back.
you the biased one. Like, get the fuck out of here. He
Hey,
whooped his ass.
he was busier fighter, but just because you're the busier fighter doesn't mean you're landing the more effective punches or the
Is
cleaner
that what
He
I
punches.
said? But
wasn't
I didn't
landing,
say that though. I didn't like
but
You
he
didn't
you.
have
was
to say
landing the
that.
more
That's
effective
the
punches.
But
only
he
reason.
was,
That's the
though.
only
He
way
was
you can say he
landing
won.
He
way
was
more
landing the
punches.
more effective punches. Yeah, he
But
was
In
not
the
landing
clean.
way
first
more
one, for
punches.
sure.
But no one even made that argument that he was the busier fighter. He wasn't landing the better punches, but he was the busier fighter, which is why he won. No one even made that argument, bro. Like,
You don't have to, because that's
really
the only
step
way
up.
you can even think he won.
Okay, so you're gonna accuse people of being biased, but like there's only one way to see the world, and you know exactly what it is. Okay, cool, got it.
Well, all I know is last I checked on that record, it says Madonna victory. So
Last I
we can
checked,
talk
Timothy
about
Bradley,
how
Red Reed,
go ahead.
last I
That's not
checked,
an argument. That's not an argument.
Timothy Bradley has a win over Manny Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
And
That goes back to my other argument. Yep.
everybody, including Floyd Mayweather, and I'm not saying that he's the holy grail to you, but maybe somebody you respect. Floyd Mayweather straight out said, you know what the fuck that was about. No way Timothy Bradley won that fight.
Yeah. See that one
So,
I agree with. Manny won that fight.
okay.
That's
So when you
Yeah,
agree
but
with something, that listen, when you agree with something, it's called opinions. When somebody can accuse you of being biased because Mayweather said so.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So because Mayweather vouched for it, but if I can make the accusation that if Mayweather would have said no, Timothy Bradley won, that you would have been on that side. You would have been like, yeah, Timothy Bradley won the fight. So anybody on record can have a win over somebody. That doesn't mean that's what actually happened in the fight. Andre
What did
Ward
you
has a
think?
win over Kovalev, 2 wins over Kovalev. The first fight, like nobody thought he won, bro. Nobody.
Yeah. I thought that was a draw, to be honest.
But
I mean, a draw, dude. I mean, okay, fine, but you're in the rare
Recognize you
minority, bro.
bias, bro. You bias. Recognize. Come on, man. You know you bias.
Dude,
No,
I
Frank,
gave him
stop
the
it.
Kovalev
Stop being
best.
biased,
dominated.
Frank.
Kovalev
What I'm
dominated the
biased.
first half of that fight, but I thought Andre Ward finished strong.
Okay, so even by that
Yeah,
metric
but
that you, by that
uh,
scoring that you gave, so I'm gonna assume you gave him the first 6 rounds and you gave all 6 rounds to Andre Ward. Kovalev still wins. He got the knockdown, bro.
got the
Yeah.
knockdown. Yep.
Yeah,
But
you're
if you're in the
discounting that.
Knockdown.
bro, you don't know how to score boxing, Frank. If the American fighter gets up from a knockdown and
It's
lands a
2 points, right?
punch after that, he
That's
gets two
2
extra
points.
points. Two, at least two
Yep.
extra points. Come on, man.
At
He
least
got
two.
up from the knockdown,
Yeah.
bro. He
It's
got
always
up.
been that way, though.
He
Boxing,
got up from the crusher punch, bro. Come on, you got to give him credit for that.
but
Got up.
yeah,
That's
I give him credit. I give
it
him
shows
credit, but
shit and discipline.
boxing has
Uh,
always been that way. The champion gets a little bit the benefit of the doubt. You have to like convincingly beat him to get the championship off of him, right?
Wait,
No,
I thought Kovalev was
No. But first of all, Kovalev was the champion
right.
Was he?
at that
But
first
time.
you're
of all,
biased. You're
First of all,
biased,
did you see
Frank. You're
Ward's
biased.
face at the decision?
first of
He was
all,
shocked. Bro. He
Frank,
was
did you see
shocked, man.
Ward's
He was
face at the
pleasantly shocked.
decision?
No.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was
Kobe,
You were
pleasantly
pleasantly
shocked,
shocked,
bro.
dude. It was funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a questionable. That was a
BDA had
questionable
that nice
decision.
video. It was funny.
That was a
That was a
robbery.
that was a questionable decision, but they did rematch and Ward put that to sleep, so that's okay.
He low blowed him.
He would have if he didn't nuts shot him, but he
Well, maybe if Kovalev
probably
wasn't
would have.
maybe if Kovalev wasn't a drunk, he would have been able to
He
take
is a
body
drunk.
shots.
Oh, he went
Those
there,
were
bro.
low blows,
He
bro. Like
is a
they were
drunk.
blatant low blows.
He can't. He's
Mm.
weak to the body.
But he is
Everybody
a
knows
drunk.
that.
But those were low
I don't know.
blows.
I'm not
Oh,
loving
that's a
it, dude.
stereotype, bro. What are you trying to say, man? Russians are fucking alcoholics or what?
No.
yeah, we
It's
Yeah,
are.
oh shit, I'm
proven
pissed
fact.
because I'm Russian.
Kovalev is a drunk.
I've never even seen the man have a drink.
Oh
No,
wow.
I'm not.
I agree with
I've
you,
I've
bro.
seen Andre Ward
I
at the
don't.
club drinking, and I know I've seen that. But he's Russian, so we all know the truth, right? He Russian.
Yeah.
We
It
Russians are.
listen, man.
But
I
That
saw
was
an
so
article on
obvious.
Boxing Scene that said he was a drunk, so he a drunk.
Listen,
If
Maybe.
anybody
but
paid attention to both fights, if anybody paid attention to both fights, there was a little theme going on. And the first fight should be obvious. Just look at the date. It was right around the time, Trump won the election, but Russia
Russiagate.
really stole it, and you got a Russian against an American. I mean, you should just use your,
You don't even
between
gotta
your
fix that
ears,
shit, man. You don't even gotta fix that shit.
between
Every
your
lip-hard
ears, there should
judge is.
be exactly between your ears.
Russian
There should be some type of brain matter there. You know what I'm saying? And like it should work a little bit. Like that should be obvious. And then in the second fight, I mean, you had Jay Prince fucking basically threatening. He threatened Kovalev right there, talking about if you do anything to Andre, there's
Yeah.
something about town business, and threatening Andre Ward in a fight that he's about to get into, right? So you can just do the math, man. I mean,
wow.
You think they rigged it?
1
Maybe the
+ 1
first fight,
equals
but
5.
They wanted Andre Ward to win.
Yeah,
Let's just put it that way.
maybe
well,
of course they did.
the second for sure,
okay.
for sure.
So there's like this unspoken rule or open secret in boxing. Whenever you see a fighter in like a major fight or maybe even any fight where he's like one guy's making a ton of money and the other guy is like making not as much as you think he should be, and it's something like pitiful. Then the one of the theories is that he's getting paid a lot more money under the table, right? And the PBC guys, the PBC fanboys have been pushing this for a while now. That these guys are getting paid under the table, so on and so forth. But this is a fight fixer was given an interview, and that was one of the things he mentioned. I forget where this was exactly, but he said one of the red flags is when it's a big fight and one of the guys' purse is like way lower than the other guy's purse, and you think it should be a lot more. Chances are he's getting a lot of money under the table. And if you guys remember that second Sergey fight, they kept talking about how Sergey's not getting any money for this fight. Do you remember that?
No upfront money. There was no upfront money.
Yeah. He wasn't getting any money, and the theory was that he's getting paid a ton under the table. I mean, that doesn't prove anything, obviously, but there was a lot of shady shit going on for sure.
Yeah.
What's up, Outlaw?
Yep.
I'll see.
Outlaw.
What's going on, bro? How are you, lads?
Well, much,
Outlaw,
man.
what's
Just
up?
over here
Can you hear me?
talking.
What's up, brother?
Yep, I can hear
Got
you,
bad
man.
reception. You can hear me all right?
No, I hear you fine. We hear you fine, bro. Maybe he's having issues with his. But yeah, I mean, listen, this is not. There have been people that are in that world that have come forward and talked about fixed fights. This is not something people created out of thin air just to hate on fighters. It happens. Look, I like certain fighters. I'm not a fanboy of them. I like certain fighters that I perceive to do boxing exactly the way boxing should be done inside the ring. But I've even seen some of their fights where I was like, this guy didn't really come to win. I don't have any proof of that, but I'm like looking at this dude. I'm like, I don't think he's really trying to win this fucking fight, bro. Maybe he's taking a dive. Maybe he doesn't see a way for him to win.
When the stakes are high, right? When it's a big fight, significant fight, shouldn't we be seeing? Shouldn't default be that we should expect Wilder Fury every single goddamn time? That kind of a fight where both guys go out on their fucking shield. If it's a big fight, shouldn't we expect? Because it used to be like that in boxing. But nowadays it's like, and pay attention to this because you're hearing this more than ever before. And I know like some people haven't been watching boxing for a while, so they don't have this perspective. That's fine. But all I'm saying is understand the fact that some of us have, and we're seeing these changes, and it doesn't make sense. Notice every single goddamn time there's a big fight now, it would seem, when the B side loses, they're always saying, "Oh, he came to win. He laid it all on the line. He gave it his best. He didn't lie down. He didn't lie down for him." Like they keep repeating this shit all the damn time. Why do you have to tell us this? If that should be the default position, then why do you keep reinforcing this thought in our heads that the guy didn't lie down? Why? You know what I mean?
Because
shouldn't it be? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's because the majority of boxing fans are stupid and things have to be explained to them. But it's not.
No, that's a good way to put it.
Small things.
It's
Fans are stupid. Exactly.
it's like watching a movie and a narrator comes on and tells you exactly what you're seeing.
Fans are a bunch of posers, bro.
You see it, but for some reason you can't comprehend it. So it has to be somehow explained to you. It's for stupid people, basically.
Yeah, it's like Dodger
I'll give you an example, right? When I watched the ending,
they also use it to run it the way they want.
When I watched the ending of
gotta be
Tyson
careful.
Fury Wilder 3, when I watched the ending of Tyson Fury Wilder 3, the first thing that came to my head was this was a good fight, and Wilder almost knocked him out. I never said Wilder came. The first thought wasn't Wilder came to win. You know what I'm saying? I never even doubted that. You know what I'm saying? It was just like those are the two things that came right off the top of my head, and basically everybody that I was watching the fight with, they said the same thing, that it was a good fight, and Wilder almost knocked him out.
I agree with. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but I agree with what he just said about people being stupid. But all the time he's saying this, what I'm thinking is, so basically, people's minds are blank canvases that need to be painted. And if you're a painter, you could also be a puppet master. You're basically brainwashed. If people are that dumb that they need to be told what's going on, you could tell them whatever the fuck, and they'll eat it up. You know what I mean? They'll believe it.
Yeah.
That's that's
the commentator has great power.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I mean, this is like this. You should know this by now. At a certain point in your life, you should know that.
Eyes.
But you should know when you're watching television. When you're watching programming, that the person that's speaking, you're hearing, has a lot of influence on what you're listening to. And what you're listening to and what you're seeing If you just, you're not using your own thoughts at that moment, you can see whatever the hell he wants you to see. That's
We
it.
just
Yeah.
we just saw this the other night.
Yep.
We saw Isaac Cruz clearly block Tank's uppercuts, right? And the commentating team was saying, "Oh, that one kind of got through. That one, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect, but it scored, right?" So
Yep.
this is the people in the truck looking for highlights, right? They're looking for the best punch Gervonta
Mhm.
landed,
And
and
then
that's what they're giving you, right? So
and then
so
they show it, and it's a blocked punch.
Right, but that's the best punch. So from that you should be saying, okay, if that's the best punch, that means he didn't land anything in that round, right? So if he didn't land anything in that round, how did you have him
How
win
did
it?
he win it?
Right?
Yeah.
How did you if just look at the highlights, man? And like if you don't agree with this, then you bias. We know that they're always trying to skew the highlights for the A side. And if you just look at the highlights from that fight, Isaac Cruz won the highlights.
Easily. At
So you won the fight.
exactly, I had him winning the fight.
Yeah.
He
Me,
won the fights. He won the fight based on highlights.
Fucking Tank sucks.
Dude, that's not what I said.
That's
No, but I'm
basically what
just
you
saying that,
said.
man. It's just like,
That's
fuck, he
not
just
what
got
I
booted shit.
said, dude.
not
My
at all.
God. Fucking
Look,
hell.
This guy's
look,
precise is
look.
telling you the bias of what's being thrown into your face.
Well,
You
there's
don't
bias. There's
understand.
all kinds of bias. There's bias
I'm just
against.
saying, man. Tank fucking sucks, bro.
He
Tank
does
sucks.
suck, man. He does
Tank
suck.
sucks. Tank sucks.
But
Listen,
like,
Tank is suffering right now, and I have a feeling this is going to continue. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tank is suffering from poor matchmaking, meaning soft fights, and when he gets into a fight where a guy has something a little different and is actually has some type of game plan, he's going to need help from some judges. That's basically where he's at.
Toby,
it's the
That's where
same
he's
thing
at.
as Wilder.
Tell
It's
me
the same
that
thing as
Toby get
Wilder.
exactly. Yes.
He
Tell me
just
that I'm
never had
wrong
any motivation
with
to
evidence.
improve.
Yeah,
But no, but let's
because
be real.
they
Let's be real, real
Rebry,
quick.
real quick, Rebry.
Okay.
Did anything that I say was wrong? Tank at this point he needs help from the judges to give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay? In other words, even if you thought he won, you gotta admit those fucking rounds were close, bro. They were close. They could have went the other way.
I don't agree at all.
You don't agree that they're giving him the benefit of the
Right.
doubt, even though the rounds are close.
So you're
Which
saying you
could have
don't think
been.
that was a close fight, Red Breed? You don't think that was even
You don't think it
slightly?
was
It
a
was a
close
close
fight, right?
fight,
You don't
but
think.
close as in like 7-5, 8-4, if you want to call that close.
8-4 is
No,
not
but I'm
close.
talking
So
about
you don't
even the
think Cruz has a
rounds.
case for winning or a
and
draw? Even you don't think Cruz
No,
even has a case for that?
Cruz won.
a
Okay,
draw,
I can't
a
see that.
draw, a draw, a slight percentage,
Listen, a
maybe.
draw
But
is not a draw. A
So
draw,
yeah, you had more. So you
a
had more
fucking,
Kovalev a draw, but not that fight.
a fucking
Okay,
no,
draw is
okay.
he couldn't, he couldn't take
I
advantage of
mean,
a
Moore
1
was
minute fight.
getting washed, bro, in the first 6
We're
rounds.
biased.
You
We're
even
all
said
biased.
it.
we're biased.
Fucking
Dude,
embarrassing, man.
his head looked like a punching bag, bro. In the first 6 rounds, just bat, bat, bat. He's just getting fucking jabbed with ease,
And he got
Yeah,
knocked down.
and he
And he
got
got knocked out.
dropped and hurt
And
multiple
dropped
times.
and hurt.
But
Yep, yep,
yeah.
yep.
you thought that he worked up a draw. You're saying that forget about what we saw in the 11th and the 12th round when he was fucking beating the shit out of Ward. He still drawed with him.
Hey
For that
man,
I
fight to
mean,
be a draw, it'd have to be 6-5 Ward with one draw round because he had the
Remember,
knockdown.
you know what I'm gonna do one day? I'm gonna with you there. I'm gonna make you tell me Ward won round 11 or 12 when he was beating the crap out of Ward. I want you to say he won those rounds.
yeah. I mean,
I have to
look, if
rewatch it. I haven't seen that
look,
fight in a long time, but I remember
if
him
you
winning the second half.
if you score all the kidney shots, the double leg takedowns, all the low blows, knee to the face, if you score all that stuff, then maybe Ward got a draw. Maybe. I mean,
But well,
he was He was grabbing both of his legs and
Drop
taking
kick.
him down to the canvas, man.
Yeah, man.
Double
That's pretty
double
bad.
leg takedowns, bro.
But fellas,
That-
let's be honest. If Tank
Oh
would
my,
have
no,
knocked
we were just lying. No, bro, we're just
I'm
lying. We're
lying.
just lying.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're just
no, I'm not saying no. I'm talking about Tank. Let's be honest. If Tank would have knocked him out in 2 rounds, we would all be on here saying, "Well, he's just a bum. Tank was supposed to knock him out." So I mean,
Well,
either
he
way,
was
it's
But
a
he
supposed
didn't
lose-lose.
knock him out. He didn't knock him
But he
out.
Look,
did
He
it.
was
Yeah.
He
That's
lost
what we
the fight.
expected, man. That was
had,
supposed to be the showcase fight. It was like, you
but
know,
if he had, you would be saying that, right?
Bro, if it rained
we'd be
yesterday,
like,
I
we'd
would
be
say it
like,
rained yesterday. Like, but it
we'd be
didn't rain
like, man,
yesterday,
that was a
bro.
badass fucking knockout from Tank.
Yeah.
No, you'd be like,
Yeah.
Tank knocked out another bum. Here we go again.
Well, I
But
mean,
he
He
was
it's
a
didn't
better
bum. He
than
was
what
supposed to
happened.
be a bum, though. He
It's
was
better than
supposed
what
to do that.
happened. It's better than what it ended up happening, though.
Yeah, but he didn't knock out. He didn't knock out a C-level fighter. So
I don't have Tank.
smaller
I don't
than
have a
him.
Tank. I don't have Tank on my pound for pound or whatever. But you can't tell me there's 10 fighters in the world more talented than Tank Davis.
What?
I could name
Nah.
20
I
right
really
now.
believe that.
Off
I
my
really
toes.
believe that. Explosive. He's got decent defense. Power in both hands.
He doesn't have defense. He rolls shots well. I give him that. He rolls shots well, but those still score.
He's got more skills than most of the guys at 135.
No, he
Nah,
doesn't.
no, he doesn't.
No,
No.
no, he doesn't.
Hey, can he beat
The
Cepeda?
only guy
Can he
is
beat
Loma.
Cepeda? He beat Cepeda?
Loma. Oh, he
Fuck
destroys
no.
the Cepeda.
No, he
Oh,
doesn't.
really?
Yes, he does.
No, he does not, man. No, he does
I
not.
really,
I mean,
I swear he does. He can
You
beat
swear?
Cepeda most.
you talking about Jose Cepeda, right?
Absolutely. Now, like Ramirez and Josh
He
Taylor,
struggled
no.
with Barrios, bro. Barrios is a
Dude,
skateboarder.
yeah, Barrios was
Barrios
tagging
is
him
a
up, bro.
welterweight. Do you guys know Barrios just moved as a welterweight?
Yeah, I know he's not a good fighter.
That
from what
means
I've seen.
So he was
something.
drained?
It doesn't-
That's
So
what
he
I'm saying.
just
so he was
trained exactly.
Oh shit, that's his
My
fault for
cat
staying at
just moved up to
140.
welterweight.
Yeah, but you do understand that being drained, man. Like here's a perfect example of a drained fighter that would have normally not gotten his ass whipped like that. Dwight Muhammad Kawi fought Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks tried to go down to 190.
Yeah.
He couldn't move.
Yeah.
He literally
think-
couldn't fucking move without fainting. Like
I think Tank could
he got his
outbox
ass
him
beat.
at 140.
So we saw Tank hit a dude that's big, tall, 140 pounder, right? Just moved up to welterweight. We saw Tank hit that guy, and his feet, both of his feet, were leaving the canvas, right? And we saw Tank hit little Isaac Cruz with the same type of punches, and he fucking went nowhere. He couldn't even snap his head back. Like,
Different
explain that.
dimension.
Explain that to me. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Different
the bigger guy was jumping up in the fucking air, and the smaller guy wasn't even moved. Yeah, different dimensions. That's my point.
Okay. So what are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say? Like, why was the guy flying halfway across the ring when he got hit by Little Tank, and he couldn't even move Isaac Cruz?
The Tank
What
can
the
crack. The power is real.
The
But
power
you
is real.
completely missed the point, man. Like, it's like talking to a
Went over your-
fucking sack of potatoes, man.
Went over your head, under your feet. You missed it, man.
Well, my
It's
point,
real.
his power travels up to 140. He can hurt anybody at 140.
That's not the point.
You guys said that.
How did he make a big body fly
I
like
told you
that?
that he
Is what
could
he's
be
saying.
Zepeda.
How can you hit a guy and make him fly through the air? This isn't fucking video games. This isn't cartoons. This is real life. That doesn't happen in real life, man. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that is kind of weird. Like, how does he?
We
I'm looking
watch
at it
too
now.
many
I'm like,
karate
what the
movies,
fuck
man.
did
That
he
shit don't happen in real life ever. It's physically
Then when you
impossible to
realize,
lift a man off the canvas with a punch, unless he's
It's John
when you
jumping with
realize,
you.
The
when you
John Wick.
realize that
It depends who hits.
both his feet left the canvas. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah, he looked like he crashed when a skateboarder falls. That's how he crashed.
Hey man, what can I
But
say?
let's just say that's legit anyway. Whatever. What's Barrios done? That still doesn't prove that Tank's power carries up to 140 because Barrios is not proven to be a world level 140 pounder. Like, what's he done in boxing?
And Jen,
What other-
wasn't his fight before that, like, it was like very controversial. Most people thought he got his ass beat in that fight. Like,
Yeah,
going into
when he was a
I
Tank
agree.
opponent, I went back and watched a few of his fights, and I wasn't impressed. I can't remember the exact details of them, but yeah, I don't think Barrios is a very good fighter.
I don't
Anyway.
think we'll
Listen,
ever
let me
hear
tell
from
you
him
what
again,
happened.
man.
I
Let me tell you what
agree.
happens.
That was a cherry pick.
If Tank moves to 140 and for Josh Taylor, there's not enough money to make Josh take it easy on him. He's gonna kill that boy. Okay.
I don't know about that.
Regis Prograde.
come
Regis
on,
Prograde.
man.
Regis Prograde will demolish
Jesus
him, bro.
Christ.
Look,
Josh
They'll
Taylor,
demolish
Josh
my
him.
Taylor
favorite.
is bigger than Billy Joe Saunders, man.
Yes, he
Go
is.
look
Dude,
at
Josh
the pictures.
Taylor is my favorite. Is probably my favorite UK fighter. But we
So he's got to
can't.
go to sleep against Tank.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I
He's been
gotta
going life and death his
step
last couple
off.
of fights.
Everybody have a good
He's
night
your
or evening,
favorite
morning.
UK
Yeah.
fighter.
Hey,
Bye.
But look
peace
at the
out, man.
competition.
Peace out. Peace out.
Peace out,
Peace out.
bro. Peace out, bro.
But
But Rare Breed, how do you think Tank would go against Prograde and
Peace.
Ramirez, the fighters that Taylor did have tough fights with?
I think he could outbox Ramirez. He's not gonna like try to bang with him.
Outbox
Oh,
Ramirez.
man.
I think Ramirez
There's
will
no
tear him
jab.
up too.
He got no
I
jab.
think Ramirez beats
He's
him.
not going to do that against Isaac Cruz. I don't know how he's going to do that against Ramirez. But
I mean, would you say Josh Taylor hits harder than Tank?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Significantly
140?
harder. Much harder.
Significantly. Yeah.
Significantly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Yes.
significantly.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, he does.
He's a
Yeah.
bigger dude. It's called science. He's a bigger
Okay,
He's
but
like
man.
30.
also
He's
brain.
at least
He's also
30
brain
pounds bigger
damage.
than Tank, man. Tank's not a
Yeah.
big guy.
He could
Look,
also
yeah, like
you
I'm
know,
not
I'm
sure
not gonna
Tank.
lie
I'm
to
not sure
my
Tank could drop Ramirez twice, which Taylor did.
I don't know, man.
I have sons that are getting bigger, right? I have one who's 13. I'm not gonna lie to him and tell him that he hits just as hard as me.
Yeah.
It's false. It's not true. You know, I'm a bigger man still. I'm still a bigger man than him. Maybe when he gets older, 21, 22, 23, when I'm old, yeah, he'll probably hit harder than me. But as of right now, no, I'm bigger. Tank's never gonna grow. This is where he tapped out.
This might sound
Tank is
blasphemous.
5'5". He's 5'5",
Mhm.
and he's struggling to find a weight class that he can take advantage of.
I would
Yeah.
put money on Josh Taylor walking around. I'm not saying fit, but like walking around like a regular dude at 180 pounds, man. He's massive. The
5'11".
guy is massive.
Taylor's
He's
easy.
bigger than
He's
Crawford,
kind of a
man.
weight bully.
Of course he's a weight bully.
Yeah, well, nobody's arguing that.
Is he Eastern European?
No, obviously not.
But to lie to lie to Tank so he could sleep better at night. If I want to fuck him up, like say yeah, you could definitely be a guy that big. I would just feed him to the fire. Be like, yo, you should fight him now. I think you'll fuck him up.
I
Then
think
when he
it'd be
goes
more
in there,
competitive than you guys give credit for.
I think
No,
at
you'll kill him.
135 he might stop him. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, you can take him down to 135 pounds.
You probably
But
stop
it
him.
won't. Listen, if that fight is 140 and Taylor could come in close to 160 on the fight night, he's going to destroy Tank. Yeah, he's going to
160?
destroy him.
He's gonna blow
Yeah,
up.
he does
20
that
pounds
already.
overnight?
But Rare Breed, he does that in most
Oh,
fights. He's
yeah.
like 155, 160
Take care, Michael
on fight
Paul.
night.
Yeah,
Devin Haney's 160 on fight night, bro.
yeah. He's a weight bully.
Josh Taylor is probably close to 170 on fight night. I'm not even playing, man.
Yeah, who really knows, man? Who really knows how much weight he puts on? I know that that'll be because Tank is not a pound for pound fighter. He can't make up. See, pound for pound fighter means I can make up skill wise, for
your weight.
for lack of size. Yeah, for your
I
weight.
think he has
Okay.
the skills to recognize. I think
No, he gets.
he's not a pound for
I mean,
pound
I don't
fighter.
see it, bro.
He
Okay,
couldn't
I
adjust.
disagree.
It took him, bro, look, it took him 11 and a half rounds to start throwing a hard jab. He realized that against a face forward brawler, you need to throw a hard jab. It took him 11 and a half rounds to figure that shit out, bro. I mean, that's pathetic. He should have been jabbing his fucking head off if he had a good jab, that is, from the first round. That's how you beat a guy like Isaac Cruz that's doing the really poor man's impression of Mike Tyson. You jab his fucking head off. Stick and move. He couldn't do that till like I think halfway through the 11th round he started throwing a halfway decent jab, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you beat the Mike Tyson by throwing jabs, let alone a poor man's version of Mike Tyson. So,
And that was
Tank would have
after
been.
Cruz stopped moving his head, man. Like if you guys watch that fight again, Cruz slowed the fuck down because he only had
He
four
started. He
weeks.
started moving straight lines.
Yeah, just coming
Yeah.
right in through the front door.
Yep.
Probably because
Precise.
he was tired.
Precise. What's your opinion on my favorite fighter, Boots Ennis?
I think he's a
He's
talented guy, man. But I think you have to bring him up the correct way, give him tough fights, and not serve him up like fights that you know he's gonna win because he's fighting a little guy, an old man, someone who's not really trying to win. But I think if you build him up properly and bring him up, he could very well be the best welterweight. But is the PBC able of doing that? I haven't seen it yet.
You got to be willing to fucking lose to be great, man.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
got to
I mean,
put him
that's
in tough
easier.
fights.
That's easier said than done. But these guys have to want to get in the ring with him. Also, he can't
Well,
force
okay,
people to fight him.
that's fine. But the PBC, they've had a great
He
track
has to want
record.
to invest himself into it.
Also, but
Also, he's not with
you
the
got to give
PBC.
this to the PBC. But he fights on the PBC.
Showtime. But I mean, he's with Cameron Duncan, who I guess they have some kind of you know
Yeah,
relation
well, I
to.
don't,
But they work with
I,
the PBC, right? They
I don't
work
know
with
the
the PBC.
politics, but the PBC have been matching all their welterweights. So whatever the relationship is there, they, in my opinion, they should be able to match him with all these other guys. But like you say, are they going to want to fight him? No. But the problem with Boots Ennis is that he has to prove that he's worthy. He has to build his name up so that these guys can make money fighting him too, not just give him a payday, right? And the way you build him up is by putting him in tough competitive fights. That's just
OTF would be a good fight. The Russian.
yeah, like Danny Garcia should be fighting Danny at this point in time. You know what I mean?
Danny's at
Yeah.
154.
He's moving to
But Danny
150.
could, yeah. But Danny's
He
not
could fight
taking
him
it.
there. He could fight him
He
there
could
and
fight
then
him
come
there.
back down. Come back down. You
Okay.
Danny's
know what I
not
mean?
taking that fight.
Do you
Danny's
want?
living the good life.
Wait,
He's
Bully
close
is
to
his.
retirement.
But you got to understand why Danny's not taking that fight. First of all, Al Heyman is not asking him to take the fight. That's one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably the most important one. Number two, if he does, Danny's gonna say, "Okay, Al, no problem. The money's still the same, right? You're not asking me to take a pay cut to fight this guy."
No, no.
You get what I'm saying? If
$10
he
million.
doesn't, no,
Just kidding.
whatever's the going rate that him and Al Heyman have with each other, right?
Yeah.
You got to take that into consideration. Because Boots, what Precise said was he's got to build a name for himself, okay? Because Boots is kind of relatively unknown. If let's say Al Heyman said, I want you to fight Jerron," and Danny Garcia's natural reaction is going to be like, "No problem, right? The money's still the same." And if Al Heyman's like, "I was going to talk to you about that," Danny's going to say, "No fight."
Right.
And you know,
No fight,
it's
Danny.
easy to say these guys don't want to fight him, and I'm not gonna argue with you, but you got to look at the other side of the equation because Boots Ennis, he can force the fight if you want. It's not that difficult to become a mandatory. Knock over a few cans, just go the right direction and force a mandatory and do that. Like people are saying, for example, that Loma ducked Haney. Now, if you think going for what was considered undisputed at the time is ducking a prospect and not fighting Haney, you know, you could duck a prospect by going into the undisputed fight, then you have a queer standard for ducking. But why is no one talking about the fact that Devin Haney chose to accept the WBC regular belt, knowing damn well that he can't become a mandatory to Lomachenko or Teofimo if he chooses that route? What Devin Haney could have done, because he was highly ranked in all these other sanctioning bodies, is become a mando in the IBF. If he really wanted to fight the guy with all the belts, IBF would have been the easiest way for him to go to become a mandatory, but he didn't go that route, right? Why? Because he didn't want that fight. That's why.
And they know that too. Yeah, they know that too. They know that the IBF is the strictest one. If you become that number one contender, the IBF is going to
you get the fight for all the belts. Yeah. Whoever got them, you fighting that guy. Why didn't you go that way? Because he wanted the WBC protection. Simple. How do you duck a guy that don't want to fight you? That's what I want to know. You know, but I'm the biased one. You know what I mean? I'm the biased one. I guess I make too much fucking sense.
I'm looking up the rankings.
No Haney fans here? Oh fuck! Guess I struck out.
No, I'm not high. I'm not high on Devin Haney. I'm gonna be honest. I think
He got no power, man. He's got talent, but no fucking punching power. That's gonna be a problem as soon as he
Yeah.
moves up.
Yeah, it's going to be a real big problem considering he's a weight bully as is, you know, and he's gonna be forced to move up eventually. And good luck, good luck.
Like we saw what Linares did to him, how he hurt him for like 2 whole rounds. The guy couldn't recover, right? Now
Yes,
you telling me that guy wants to take a chance with Teofimo Lopez? I don't believe it, man. Maybe at 140, maybe at 147, but not. I don't believe they would put him in with someone like Teofimo Lopez. I just don't believe it because
You can make
that's
an argument that Teofimo, I mean Linares, is more skilled than Teofimo.
he is more skillful, but Teofimo hits a lot harder, in my opinion. A
he
lot
But
does.
harder.
A lot
I also
harder.
think that Dev, if you watch that fight, Dev was trying to walk down and hurt Linares. He's not doing that with Teofimo.
Well, okay, fair enough. But the risk is still there. That's all I'm saying. Like, if
Yeah.
he hits him, which he's going to hit him, it's a 12-round fight. Teofimo's going to hit him because he's very fast and he's a good counterpuncher. He will hit him. At some it might take 11 rounds, but eventually he will fucking hit him. And then what? By the
Uh,
way, I always pick Haney to beat Teofimo. I'm just saying, like, it's a huge risk. And they're not trying to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, guys. Fuck. I had to take another call. I had to take a phone call. But continue. I don't want to break up
I
the
mean,
flow.
I was gonna say, do you think that Teofimo can beat anybody relevant at 140?
I
no,
mean, right now, no. The answer is no.
no,
Like if,
no.
but I don't. Redbridge, this is what I would say, right? He just lost to Cambosos, a guy who's not a huge puncher, but a decent a decent fighter who's got a
Yeah.
lot of work rate. He's got respectable power. Um, he lost to that guy, so it's hard for me to say. You know what? Yeah, Teofimo goes up to 140, and he fights Josh Taylor, and he fights Prograis, and he fights Subriel Matias. He beats these guys. I think,
Ramirez.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Cepeda, Ramirez, all these guys. Right now, I give those guys an excellent chance of beating him. The two that I definitely would have him, probably just wiping him out. I would say is Josh Taylor and Prograis, right? And Subriel Matias could be a fucking nightmare for him if he doesn't get him out in the same way he got Commey out. If he can't do that to him, he might be fucking damaged goods after that fight.
I think all those guys can fight on the inside very, very well, and Teo cannot. I think without a lucky punch, he loses all of them. Okay, he loses all of them convincingly to all of them.
We don't even know if he can knock those guys out, right? Because
I
his
don't. I
power is a
don't think
little
he
Yeah.
over.
can. I don't
He
Loma
think
needs
His
to
took
he
power
move
his
can.
up
might
in
be a
shots.
weight.
little overrated.
Yeah.
Bro, Loma took his shots, you know what I mean? Linares knocked him down. And
Yep.
anyway, going into the Loma fight, that's what I said about Teofimo. I'm like, there's nothing for him at 140, which is why he's draining himself. But the thing we got to take into consideration is that he's what, 23, 20, you know what I
24, yeah,
mean?
23, 24. Yeah.
So this is a prime time for a guy to learn a lot and quickly. But the problem with him is that he's with his dad. That's the problem, right? And he fought like an absolute idiot in his last fight. He didn't learn shit in that fight because he thought he could just walk through this guy, and he fought like a moron. Teofimo is a lot better than what he showed on that night. And if he could
Yeah.
come back mentally and they make that rematch and he gets back with Joey Gamache, I would pick him to beat Cambosos in the rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just fought like an
Yeah, no, he
idiot.
did. He fought like an idiot. He was just like, you know, the straightforward, pounding his chest type of fight. Like, I'm just gonna knock you out. That's what I'm gonna do.
Even with all of those
No head
mistakes,
movement,
he
nothing.
almost got him out of there. Think about it. Cambosa fought the perfect fight and still almost got knocked out.
That fight was close, man. People got overexcited, man. That shit was close. It could
I
have been
thought it
a
was
draw.
close too. I had a 7-5 Cambosos. That's what I had it.
I
I had
did
it
too, I
7-5,
think. Yeah.
2. Yeah.
But that's one
Some
round,
people had
right?
it 9-3. Yeah, like one round basically. I mean, you could have one round a draw, and split. 6-5, one even,
Yeah,
win by
people
one
were
point because
scoring.
they both scored a knockdown.
The blood, I think, made an
Mhm.
impression on people because he did fuck them up, man. But
That cut was bad. That was a gash, bro. What the fuck,
but
man?
that's another problem that Tio has, like that big angular nose, high, sharp cheekbones, like that. The brow ridges are very pronounced. That dude's got a problem, man. He's gonna be cutting up. You just gotta hit him enough and hard enough, and you're gonna cut him.
I remember
Jeez,
saying this.
people
I was
big.
always saying this, man. If I was a boxer, boxing a guy with that kind of beat, that's what I'm going for, bro. I'm gonna try to break that shit.
Jab, jab,
Yeah, like
jab.
exactly. I'm just gonna try to break his, so he can't breathe, and his eyes start to puff up.
Land that bird perch, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Tio? He's what 20? How old is Tio?
Early,
20,
Tio's
mid
24. Yeah, he's
mid
24 years
24.
twenties.
old.
Yeah.
Is he? Do you think he is too old to, or young enough to get out of the mindset of just the bum rush, the mindset of I'm just gonna knock this guy out?
Well, he
Do you think?
showed you that he is in the Loma fight, right? Because his daddy took a back seat to a real trainer,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and he was very disciplined, and he fought that fight really well. It really took 6, 7, 8 rounds for Loma to get him to fight him, right? Because Loma's a fighter. That's what he wants.
Do you think
But
it was a Loma injury? That
I think that was part of it. But if Teofimo didn't have the great game plan that he had, and he didn't have that kind of punching power, injured Loma would have stopped him. So it was multifactorial. I think the injury contributed, but I also give Teofimo credit because he had a great game plan.
yeah.
Gamache, this is the most underrated trainer in my opinion. If you are a southpaw, you want that guy in your corner, and you don't have a good trainer. Or conversely, if you are a right-handed guy going against the southpaw, you want Joey Gamache. You guys remember he trained Wallin for Tyson Fury, man. That was probably Tyson
Yeah.
Fury's one of his toughest fights ever. You know what I mean?
It could have if it wasn't Fury, it would have been stopped,
Yeah,
right?
of
Yeah,
course.
that's great. That's a great point. Yeah,
Yeah, Gamache, like he showed me that he understands southpaw orthodox dynamics. So
Yeah.
it's good to have that guy in your corner if that's what you need.
that's true. That's true. That's a great point.
But yeah, man, Loma's gonna walk through Commey, man. It's gonna be like I just keep thinking Nick Walters, Nick Walters, Nick Walters. That's what I
I
keep
keep
thinking.
thinking that's the same thing I keep thinking too.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
I
god,
mean,
he's
he's
he's just gonna
dangerous.
he's gonna take away his power punch and then it's game
Yeah,
over. That's
yeah,
it.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be bad. It's these tall, skinny guys. Oh, Loma loves fighting those dudes. The
I
tall,
know,
skinny dudes.
man. It's so
Yeah,
true. He gets him on
it's
the
like
inside. It's game over.
exactly. But like a tall, shorter, broad-shouldered Teofimo who like swivels with his upper body a lot. That's a
Hmm.
nightmare for Loma.
Yep.
But a tall, skinny guy, shit, angles will fuck him up.
Like
Exactly.
fucking like Nakatani, yeah.
Hmm.
Nakatani was like, this little motherfucker's too much, yo. God damn.
Yeah, 'cause Loma. People keep calling him a boxer. I've always had a problem with that. He is not a boxer, man. Loma
He's a
was always a fighter.
he's a
Always.
fighter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
And you know that because he's always trying to fucking come at you. That's his whole thing. It's coming at you in angles.
a lot, or just overwhelm you with a bunch of punches. Yeah, he's a fighter. He's exactly that. He has some fancy moves, like how he kind of fucking skip instead of
Oh
cutting
yeah,
off the ring. Instead of cutting off the ring, like the traditional way, you step forward, step 1, 2 forward. He does it with both his fucking feet. He kind of skips. He cuts all that out, so they see that they're like, "Wow, he's a masterful." He is a boxer. He is, but the point is that he has a fighter's mentality. He's trying to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
boxer with forward progression.
He uses like either a big punch from the outside or a fake punch from the outside to get close to you, and then he likes to fight inside.
Yep,
he's an inside fighter, really. He's like Pacquiao kind of, but I think he's more like Mike Tyson. He's not really like those guys. He just takes certain things from them. But I would actually say he's more like Mike Tyson than Manny Pacquiao. He's like a southpaw Tyson. You even look at the combinations he likes to throw: uppercut, left hook, or left hook, uppercut. Like the classic Mike Tyson combination, and the footwork.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at young prime Mike Tyson. It's the same footwork, man.
Yeah, man. I was listening to Lomachenko's interview with Roy Jones. A lot of it was like, a little circle jerk between the two of them. But, he really likes no, but obviously he really liked Roy growing up. He talked about he never saw a guy move that way. He's trying to talk in English. And so he said something to the effect, I never saw a guy actually move the way you did. And so my point of bringing that up is like, yeah, Roy moved awkwardly, but he wasn't really a come forward fighter. He kind of leap in with punches, try to catch you off guard. And so I think a guy like Lomachenko took that as a fighter coming forward, but just moving in ways that traditionally you wouldn't see a guy with that style do. That's his approach.
Yeah, Roy was a puncher, man. He was a pot shotter.
He was a puncher. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, everybody's beatable, man. Everybody's beatable. You just gotta make these fucking fights. Roy looked fucking invincible, and then he fought the right kind of
Top
guy.
3 guys at lightweight: Loma, Cruz, Cambosos.
Damn.
Cruz, you like Cruz?
I would have Cambosos over Cruz myself.
Yeah.
I actually think he's a complete pussy and he's a disappointment, but I actually think Ryan is like, if he really puts his mind to it, and he probably won't, but if he really puts his mind, like, he's gonna be a problem. That dude's gonna be a fucking problem.
That's the thing. Like, he's got the tools, but he doesn't have the mind for it.
He's a pussy. Yeah, he is.
The fucking straight up faggot. Sorry, I don't mean to.
You really think so,
channel,
man?
Here
You
on
really
this
think he's
channel,
gay or what?
we don't condone that. We don't
You really
condone
think he's gay,
that
though?
talk.
You really think he's gay?
I hope he is.
Really?
Yeah.
So he gets killed in the ring.
No, because
I mean,
I'm kidding, man. Look, I think he's just, like too into himself. He's a pretty boy. Like, he probably knows.
He's a
Probably
fuck
takes
boy, is what he
advantage of
is.
like. He more likely takes advantage that there's some gay guys that like his pictures, right?
PDA.
He might play into that. I'm not gonna lie. He probably gets with a lot of girls and just
He's probably
messes
not
with them
gay,
and then
but
leaves them.
his kids will be.
That's even worse, maybe. No.
It's just the way society's moving. Look at his dad, De La Hoya, right? And now look at Ryan. Come on,
that's
man.
his dad. Come on,
You
man.
know that's his dad. Come on, man. Stop playing, everybody. Like, you can't.
That's his dad, man. That's his pops.
What male gave birth to that?
Like, I know what happened there. He listen, this is early in his boxing career. He met some chick.
got her pregnant, told her to keep it on the low. I'll take care of you with money. She met some guy, and it's like, well, this guy wants to marry me. Okay, cool. Just don't come out that I'm the father of your child.
Do you know how many kids De La Hoya has that he doesn't even know about, man? Can you imagine?
Exactly, dude.
Can you imagine?
Look, I've wondered to myself how many kids I really have. I can't imagine De La Hoya. I can't imagine De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man. You know how many times I've been to different parts of the world? Like, well, just in America too. And like I met a girl, and it was like there was no rubber there, and it was just like, okay.
Recognize I'm the father. Yeah. Got you.
Who knows? Maybe she thought she's like, oh, this guy.
We get it. Your pull-out game is weak.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of time I was drunk or smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? So,
bro, go take a pic, or put in Photoshop a picture of Ryan, Oscar, and Ryan's dad with Ryan in the middle, and go to someone who doesn't know boxing and ask them who's the kid's uncle, who's his dad. 100%, everyone's gonna say De La Hoya's his dad.
That's true.
Yeah, man.
They're the same height and everything too.
Yeah, they fight
everything
the same weight.
They got the same type of sugar in their tank. Everything, bro. It's like
they fight the same way. Deadly left hook. You know what I mean? Good jab, deadly left hook, decent right hand. Like they're carbon copies of each other, basically.
Oscar was a beast, though.
Who's that basketball player that says he slept with like 100,000 women?
Will Chamberlain.
How do you even count that? Yeah. Like you just say, okay, that's.
I think he said 20,000. He said 20,000.
No. He said 100,000. He said he slept with 3,000 women a month.
Jesus. Fuck.
I don't know how true that is, man. But
I don't even know how that's possible.
3,000 women a month is like. That's like that's insane.
But if he did anywhere close to that, AIDS is a hoax, man. AIDS is a hoax.
He was around in the 70s, man. He had a fucking big ass mansion all the way on the top of the hill. So it's like back in the 70s. I don't know. You could probably do it.
No.
Did Mike Tyson sleep with 300 Japanese women before the Buster Douglas fight?
Jesus. Is that what he's saying? 300?
That's what he said. That's what he said. He said he had 300 Japanese women in the hotel room before the Buster Douglas fight.
Let me tell you something.
He had gonorrhea before the fight.
Hey, I had sex with 10,000 women before this stream.
Nice.
What do you think about that?
Hey, man.
It's possible. I don't even look, man.
It's possible. He says recognize.
Mike Tyson said that he forced Naomi Campbell in a party, and he was just like fucking her in the hotel. Man, I don't even want to talk about this shit.
Listen, Mike he was living in that Hollywood life, and a lot of these people are crazy, man.
Yeah,
very crazy. So I don't know if you ever saw that movie. It was a cringe fucking movie. It was with like a basketball player made it. I don't know what was his name. He played for the Knicks. Mike Tyson had a little guest appearance. It was like the Wu-Tang Clan was in the fucking movie. Anyway, the movie was garbage.
Game?
No, not He Got Game.
You guys know how
He Got Game was about Ray Allen.
No, okay. So it was about a basketball player who gets involved with rappers. It's like out of New York, and anyway, the movie is very cringe. And basically, there's a part in there where Mike Tyson's in it, and Mike Tyson is talking about giving people. He's playing himself, Mike Tyson. He's talking to this rapper and telling him how to do a hit the right way, like killing someone, and. Robert Downey Jr. is in the movie, and he's like trying to make a pass at Mike Tyson. My point is that Robert Downey Jr. was playing himself in the fucking movie. He was playing who he is, and he tries to make a pass at Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson almost killed him. Like they played out the scene. So it's like weird shit happens in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, Mike Tyson just was like from back in the day, man. Like, who knows what went on back in the day? Like, how are you gonna come out to Mike Tyson? He's gonna kill you, bro.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You guys know how those Holocaust deniers try to do all these calculations of like, was it possible in this facility to, gas and cremate this however
this
many
is a
people?
touchy subject.
Well,
But go ahead.
hold on. I'm gonna move
Yeah,
off it.
chill out, recognize.
But they basically did like the calculations, how many people per minute, you know what I mean, whatever. So I'm thinking someone needs to apply the same mathematics and science to Will Chamberlain's claims. Like was there just like a line of hose up to his mansion where they're just jumping out of fucking helicopters with their legs wide open, you know what I mean? Like it had to have been
Think about it
something
like this,
that.
precise. There's 365 days in a year, right?
Right.
On
That's
average.
what I'm saying.
So
Give me the
leap
math.
year. Okay, 365. So let's say in 10 years, in its heyday. So you do 365 times 10, that's 3,650 days. If he fucked the girl once, if he averaged one fuck for every day the next 10 years, that would be that much, right?
So he'd be 1,000,000 years old.
I still like it. I still don't believe it.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe he slept with that many women. Now, what he could have done was
cuddle some of them.
Girl. He fucked the same girl. He just didn't realize.
But then
Yeah, probably, like fucking the same girl, that doesn't count. Yeah.
Or he was so high he was seeing double, triple, quadruple.
Listen, man, I one time slept with the same girl and thought that they were two different people. So it could happen. It could actually happen.
Both girls.
Yeah, she was what it was, she was skinny when I met her 3 years before that.
No.
And then when I saw her again 3 years later, she was fat, like kind of chunky. And I was drunk, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get laid today. And it was like, she's like, dude, we met like 3 years ago. I was like, really? When? And then she started explaining. I was like, oh shit, it's really you.
Recognize was Papi Chulo back in the day.
I mean, I could be making it up though.
No, for sure.
making it up.
Could be making it up. But my point is that it's not impossible to, like, if you're like fucking different girls all the time, you're going from, think about it, he was a basketball player, so he traveled a lot. He could have been meeting the same girl. You know, it's like, oh, I want some new shit. And like some girl who has dark hair, now she's gonna come with a blonde wig or whatever. And he's just like,
yeah, that's true.
Different.
Plus, we're talking hippie days too.
Yeah. In California, this is such a subject.
Revolution. It's weird, bro.
Yeah, in California and everywhere.
Yeah.
People were just banging each other left and right.
It's crazy, bro.
Is everybody excited for Loma Commey?
No,
absolutely.
Fucking pumped up, bro.
Yeah, but didn't Tio get him out in like 2 rounds?
Oh yeah.
Let me guess.
Doesn't matter. Loma's gonna box him up.
I think Loma's on a KO streak, right?
Well, if you count his last fight, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Loma's gonna KO him, but 2 rounds, I don't see Loma trying to get him out in 2 rounds.
6, 7.
He stole something.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Because that dude's breaking down. You know, if something's nagging him a little bit, he might just take it easy on him.
Yeah, his workouts are ridiculous. Loma, that's probably why he gets injured so much. His workouts are intense. You know.
No, it's 400 fucking amateur fights.
It's also
and
fighting guys
working out in between 400 amateur fights.
It's also fighting guys bigger than you.
Yeah.
You have to punch harder. You gotta. They say they don't, but they do. It's an instinct. You see a target, You see a little
Yeah.
guy, you punch a certain way. You see a big dude, you just naturally, you swing harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? He could have an injury from even when he was wrestling as a kid. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
another thing. He was a wrestler. Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And
Judo, I
that's
think he also
that's
did.
just that's just as hard, if not harder, as a sport as a boxing. But wrestling is tough, man. Fucking
Yeah.
insane.
But I
And
feel like Loma, because of his small frame, kind of avoid injuries a lot. Like, and plus he's like naturally athletic. He could play ice hockey. He could play
that doesn't
soccer. Like he does everything.
that doesn't mean nothing, man. Size means nothing when it comes to cutting weight. You got to sleep in garbage bags to make weight for wrestling. Like it's fucking difficult, and it's your collarbones can break at any given moment. Like you're putting your weight 100+ pounds on somebody. It's tough, man. It's extremely tough sport. On top of
My
boxing,
brother used to
and
wrestle, and he
conditioning
used
for
to make
both of them is another sort of mindset. It's just fucked up, man. It's other human. It's regular people can't do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. My brother used to have some crazy fucking, routines to like lose weight. He wrestled, and he would do this shit called water manipulation.
Yeah,
It's like they
yeah,
fucking drink a ton of water, right? And that's
yep.
why I was never interested in like cutting weight. Like when I was younger, and people would be like, "Oh, you'd be a nice light heavyweight." I was like, "Dude, I'm." You do realize like I'm fit. I always tell them like I'm fit right now. They're like, "Oh, but you're gonna be much smaller than most guys." They were right. I mean, but I just the cutting 25 pounds and shit like that. I was like, nah, I was never into that shit.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of like why you get all the brain injuries and stuff like that, because like
Yeah.
you're so dehydrated and shit like that, like you're getting hit.
My younger brother was built different, where he carried a lot of water weight. So when he would fucking lose it, it's like water. He's just fucking getting rid of water weight. Where I'm built a little bit different. I'm longer, so I just didn't see the point of like fucking losing 25 pounds when I'm in good shape where I'm at.
Guys should just
Yeah.
like fight their own in their own weight, man. This shit is getting ridiculous, man.
But because with wrestling, it's tough because you have a match you have to prepare for, and you to prepare for it, you run, you exercise, you lift weights, and you run with garbage bag on, you sleep with garbage bag on, and you do this once a week. Just you have a wrestling match once a week. It's not once every 3 months, and it's hard because after wrestling, like the number one thing you want to eat to gain energy is carbs. So you eat
Yeah,
spaghetti, you eat bread, and then before you know it, you got to run 3 miles. Then you got to sleep in garbage bag, and then you got to run in garbage bag, and it's insane. And then you're dehydrating just to make weight, and you're eating hard candy, and you're spitting in cup, and it's it's all the time for the whole wrestling year, and it's like,
I
and
was
if you play
listening
other
to.
sports, you play football on top of it, and it's sort of around the same season. It's man, you're not you seem like you're healthy because strength and conditioning, but you're really not too healthy, if you know what I mean. It's
I was
bad.
listening to
It's tough. It's
this
tough.
guy talking about making weight for wrestling. I think it was collegiate, maybe high school, and he was saying that during the season he had to drop like 35, 40 pounds. Uh, Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe 25, 35, 3 times a week, like during the height of the season. Three
Yeah.
times a week he had to do this
yeah.
shit. It's crazy.
That's why, like, when I look at like those UFC fighters, like doing all those movements, like moving shoulder from like side to side, like trying to grapple somebody, take him to the ground, and like wriggling on the ground, trying to get away from the clinches and the fucking hold. I'm like, dude, I cannot believe like you're not like injured more often because you're like doing so many things at the same time. Like, imagine a boxer like getting rolled around in the fucking canvas and just like you're having to defend like all kinds of clinches. Like, you would be injured all the fucking time. And some of these guys are like all from third world countries. Like, they don't have that kind of like recovery and shit like that. Like, you're fighting on pure grit, like trying to have somebody maul you to the ground and box you, and like you're fucking taking your shoulder behind your fucking back and like trying to twist your arm. It's like, god damn, man.
It's let me tell you something. Wrestling is to to me personally by far is the hardest sport ever. It's every fucking thing in your body is tested, and you're doing it on like it's such a short notice. It's like you don't have 3 months to prepare for this match. It's that you have a week. You better lose the weight. You better fucking. I've had a match one time. I was 1 pound overweight. I'd go take shit. I make weight. Like, it's that specific. It's just so crazy. It's so crazy, and you're so fucking drained. And you're out there, and you're like, it just. I mean, it's insane, man. It's
Yeah.
insane. What goes on in a wrestling match?
And
People think it's like when people mention wrestling, they think that's stupid shit on TV. If it's not you know Olympic, that's the real wrestling, and dude, it's the hardest 3 minutes per round, 2 minutes per round you will ever do in your life. It's
Hey,
so hard, so much harder than boxing.
sorry to interrupt, but my battery's about to die. I'm gonna go to sleep anyway. So thanks for
Take
having me
care,
on.
man.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
You too.
take it easy, man. Yeah, I mean, it
Everybody
seems
out.
like a lot. It seems like a lot, man. Like, it's I don't know, but like I guess in real life, like it seems to have a lot of use, but like I don't know, like just watching those dudes, like when you get slightly older, like your joints, like like the mobility of your joints is not really that good. So it's like when somebody's twisting you and like wriggling you and trying to fucking take your arm all the way back out there, and like your fucking head is on the ground, and like somebody's twisting your arm behind your back. It's like, god damn, bro, like that just seems like a lot of fucking prone to injury, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's like, I mean, I'll argue to the death of me that fucking boxing is not as hard as wrestling. It's not as hard as wrestling. Wrestling is just unless you like, it almost comes down to like people who say, "Oh, well, boxing is tough. You have to put on gloves to really experience it," and that's true. And it is tough. It's these. I think boxing. The boxing athletes are the top 2, 3 greatest athletes on the planet. I think I'd put professional wrestlers. Now I'm not talking WWE. I'm talking
Yeah, yeah,
Greco-Roman.
the professional.
Real
Yeah,
wrestling. These athletes. These are the toughest motherfuckers on the planet.
that's
Like, you
true. That
might
is
be able
true,
to
man.
punch a wrestler in the face and knock them out, but don't you dare. Like, once these guys get you on the ground,
It's
you're done.
over.
it's
It's
it's game
over.
over. You
Yep.
better hope you land that one too, because if not,
If you don't,
and they're
it's a
just as
wrap.
quick as boxers on their feet. Trust me,
Yep.
trust me. They'll fuck you up. I knew a buddy who went to a bar and got get on an argument with his girlfriend. Some guy was hitting on his girlfriend, and he was a lot bigger than my buddy, and he simply took him to the ground and he snapped his leg, broke his fucking leg, went to prison. Well, didn't go to prison, but yeah, guy went to jail, lost his job. He was a plumber, and it was so quick witnessing like how quickly like he took this guy down and like literally got his leg into a hold and just you just hear the snapping and the agonizing pain. It was crazy. I felt so bad for the guy. Like I don't think he deserved it. His girlfriend's a whore. Like I'm not going to lie. Like it was bad, man. It
That's why,
was
like,
bad.
nowadays, like with all these UFC and stuff like that, I'm not trying to go to the ground, bro. Like, I'll fight you, like, like on my legs, like like I'll fight you standing, and like, you can throw and then like feint, or like, like I try to block it, or like, cross body or whatever. But like, I'm not trying to go to the ground. Like, I don't know who knows what. But I think, to your point, like the reason that I like boxing more is just like in all the combat sports is like boxing is just like, I don't know, bro. It just seems like the most methodical. Like it's like such a pedigree that you have to perfect to such a degree that it's like measurable. You know what I mean? Like in wrestling, like it's like if two guys are just as good, you could be down there for like fucking hours, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like round after round. In boxing is like the fucking, like degree of separation between a good boxer and a bad boxer is so palpable, right? Like you can
Yeah,
see it. You know what I
it's
mean?
because it
And you can see
because
it, like
hands
somebody
only.
has more power, somebody has more this, like somebody has more flexibility. Like there is certain like strategies that you can adapt for every kind of skilled boxer, that you can outmaneuver them and you can see it. It's like almost like basketball, but it's like fighting. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes, it's hands only. That's why usually boxers start developing their craft since they're little. I mean, a lot of sports it's the same also, but boxing in particular, if you're gonna be a good boxer, you usually have to start early, and it's just your hands. With wrestling, UFC, you have a whole bunch of things going on, but with boxing, you develop good hands, and I mean that's the cream of the crop. That's like the rich white collar people. That's what they're paying to see who's the best of the best. And in boxing, it's one of those things that determines kind of that. That's why usually like the boxer is the one that makes the most money. Not everybody, but the boxer makes more money, the top guy, than any other athlete in all the sports. If you watch
Yeah,
it,
Per
I
fight,
agree with
yeah.
that. And it's
I
like
did.
it's like it's like
I
you
don't
could
know.
see the points, you could see the harder shots, you could see the feints, you could see what didn't land, what did land. You could see the strategies, you could see the adjustments, the
You just
adaptation.
you just have to think about it on a different aspect. Like, I don't think sports are even honorable. To be honest with you, I think it's degenerable. To be frank, but when it comes to wrestling, it's when it comes to boxing, right? And you have an opponent leaning on you. It takes a lot out of you, but it's that way in boxing or in wrestling every second. The conditioning is far better. Trust me.
You have to
It's
because of the
the
stress level.
stress of the
You have to be,
body
Re-
yeah. No, there's some
in the
truth to
hand.
that. There's
It's not just feet movement. It's hand. It's hand
re-
hands, yep.
placement. Everything.
wrestling's one of the toughest sports around. It takes an
It's
Yes.
incredible to
it's
become a champion
incredible.
in that sport takes an incredible athlete and
It's
one of the most mentally draining sports. To be the mental toughness it takes to become a champion in wrestling, even at just a domestic level in the US, is crazy. Let alone a
it's
world
insane.
champion.
In
Yeah.
the especially in the United States, which have the best wrestlings. Like I live in Ohio, and we have the best wrestlers in the country, right?
but you
And
know an
it's
interesting.
go ahead,
Okay, go,
Sorry,
Gonzalo.
go.
No,
sorry.
you're
You
fine,
know,
brother. Go ahead.
yeah. You know, an interesting thing about boxing, I'm thinking, okay, so you can be a real good boxer. I mean, I bet there's been a lot of like good fighters that have the skills comparable, if not better, to some of the greatest fighters of all time. But that doesn't mean you're always going to make it, because let's say you're like a great boxer, but all of a sudden you can't take a punch, or you discovered it at some point that I don't have the chin maybe that other guys have.
Yeah,
That alone will knock you off like any the top level. And I
yeah,
mean,
Yep.
that's the thing, man. Like a lot of the wrestlers, I bet they're pretty good. They're great. They're tough guys. But you never know if a guy like that, even if they're like real strong, could take a punch or not. But I mean, that's not their craft.
Yeah.
That's not to be like
But
discovered there. But in boxing, oh my god, man, like you could be really good, but what if you can't take a shot?
yeah.
Right.
Devin Haney, Devin Haney.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
goes both
yeah,
ways, right?
but I
yeah,
think it just comes down to there's just certain like some wrestlers can't. I mean, look at Habib. Habib took a spinning back kick off Barboza. You know how much like the chin you have to have to absorb something like that. So some wrestlers, would still have the chin. Some wouldn't. It's just I guess a base, fighter or wrestler by basis type thing. Not
even
all of the
even
same.
even talking about like Roy Jones and like even like right now Canelo and like Floyd, and I was like they all kind of carve out their own vocabulary of like fighting, right? Like in a way that like they mastered that, like they took what they learned on the fundamentals and they carved it into like their own vocabulary, where they have like their own set of like skills that they fucking maneuver to the fundamentals, and it's like they win based on that. And it's just kind of beautiful to see. Like I think like in combat sports like boxing for me is addicting, because just because like I see certain fighters like Loma and stuff like that, and like the certain kind of training that they do, and it's like, dude, like the punches that they throw, and then the fucking angles that they take, and then the pivots that they do, like they just kind of found a way to like carve their own little
Well,
thing. You know what I mean?
that's
And
why,
like
as
you just see
cliche
it.
as it is, it's a sweet science. That's why it really
Yeah.
Oh
is.
yeah,
It's masterful.
yeah.
It's a fucking
That's a
science, bro. Like exactly what you said, bro. It's a science, bro.
yeah. It's also great because that science, when something comes out, it's got a rich history. But like when something comes out, the next generation picks up from what that style, that innovative style, what that came out. Fighters pick off of that. It's like building a car, like the fastest car in the world. Then another faster car comes out because they pattern what they knew about that science and just made it a little better, man. That's why boxers get better, just like any other sport too.
Yep.
Yeah,
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 like
that's
Absolutely.
facts. That's
but
facts. Hey, Rick, I
yeah.
gotta go to bed. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me on,
brother.
brother.
All
I'm
Definitely,
right.
gonna
Oh,
man.
keep
peace, Durden.
listening.
Thank you.
Hey, peace out. That's what's that guy's name? Australian guy.
take care.
Outlaw.
Jed
Outlaw. Oh,
Kyle, right?
Outlaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
outlaw. Just call me outlaw. That one.
Mr.
Anyway,
Outlaw.
Outlaw.
Yeah.
All right,
outlaw.
Gonzalo, good one. Viking Casual. I don't know if I know you, but peace
All right, man.
out.
Take
Triple
it easy.
JJ. I don't know. I've seen you before, bro, but
Good
I
night,
never heard
Michael.
your voice.
Take care,
And
Durden.
Durden, I'm about
Peace
heritage.
out.
I'm a Celtic. I'm a Celtic brother. I'm about heritage like yourself. So
Hell yeah, man.
I'm a Celtic before I'm an
I'll
Australian.
catch you guys next
See you,
week,
brother.
man.
Yeah,
Peace,
it's
Durden.
like it's like even like you see guys like Cambosos, right? Like you see Cambosos like having that fucking success on that overhand and like banking on that, and it's like he has all the combo and all that speed, but like just the way that like everyone kind of like maneuvers their own style into
Yeah,
beating certain
that
kind
was
of fighters. That's just like science, bro. Like they fucking perfected that, and it's like they fucking found a way in all the fundamentals to fucking find a strategy that works for them, and then it's a fucking science, And I love seeing that. It's like,
that was
goddamn.
beautifully timed, man. That right hand by Cambosis, watching it back, that was amazingly timed. The way he timed, like that was just a beautiful punch.
You know why I was really impressed by Cambosos, most of all? Because they were both talking smack, but he backed it up. He backed it up. I didn't think he was gonna be that guy where he was shit talking. I was like, man, this guy's not like that. He's not real like that. But guess what? He was. No, he was.
He's a tough dude. You,
Hey,
I already.
Gonzalo, every Saturday night I run into Greeks like that here, so that's exactly what I knew they'd be
Okay.
like that.
Bro, the second right
Yeah,
hand, the second overhand that he hit Tio with, but Tio didn't go down. That was the harder fucking overhand, bro. I don't know how Tio stood up to that shit. Like he
Oh
fucking
yeah, he
timed
almost
that
got
shit
knocked out, huh?
perfect,
Yeah.
bro.
So he's not your regular Joe Smo. Like he's not a dime a dozen. So he's actually something kind of like special. In other words, right?
Yep.
Sorry.
What's up, Quags?
Yo,
Oh,
fellas, can you hear
Quag,
me?
what's going on, bro? Yeah, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Just listen to you guys talk.
Yeah, man.
Even Triple G, bro. Like Triple G was everybody was saying like Triple G is a fucking hard puncher and like he has such power and stuff like that. But like, bro, like even Triple G, like the way that he times his shots and the way the economy of his punches and like the way that he waits and like chases you down the ring and cuts the ring, it's like impeccable, bro. Like it's like that's his own style, you know. Through whatever he learned in the ring, his timing and his placement of those shots is just like that's his own style. So it's like that's kind of like why I love boxing. It's like every one of these guys, like they find a thing that they work that works for them, and then they use that to their advantage, and it's like they can outmaneuver all these guys that have all these set of other skills. They could be out timed, they could be outsped, you know what I mean? The other guys have better speed, probably better power, but like the thing that works for them, they do it so well, and they do that, you know what I mean? And the other guys, like Gonzalez said, like they kind of use that over time and try to be a better boxer through that, but like it's a beautiful sport, man. Like I just love it.
I agree, man. That's why I still watch boxing, because boxing is too fucking political these days. But I watch it because of the technique, man. I still enjoy it. You know, all these years, I still like it. Like most of you guys, right? You guys probably been watching boxing since you were kids,
Yep,
teenagers at least.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Not me. I was watching boxing since last weekend.
You already worked out as corrupt.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Took you a week.
Took you a
What's
week, right?
box?
Like,
Took you a week to work it out.
hey, don't feel
This
bad.
is
Jay.
box. What is box?
It took me some time, man, to realize how corrupt boxing was.
Bro, this corruption in boxing has got to stop, man. What the fuck? Like, when are we gonna stop with this shit, man?
Good luck with that.
No, never. That's like saying when a drug's gonna stop. Never.
Boxing is a outlaw sport. You know, there's no governing body. There's not somebody you have to answer to. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, there's
So,
literally two guys pressing buttons on the fucking CompuBox, and they decide what punch landed and what didn't. Like, come on, like you think Tank landed one single clean uppercut? No, but they're pressing the buttons on that shit. And on the CompuBox, now we got to look at this fucking stats. I'm like, bro, come on.
CompuBox was made, in my opinion, to convince you who won the fight.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
I have a problem right now with how people perceive, and I'm not like an expert on all the criteria that I'm gonna go like read the book and see like what other criteria and this and that. But one thing that I do understand, that it's harder to come forward and pursue the target than it is to run away from the target, and they're still doing the same that they did with Mayweather.
doubt.
Oh, he's only stalking. He's only coming forward. Yeah, man. But if you're fucking running away and only trying to play tag, and then just get out of the way, man. You guys take it from there, man.
No, I agree, man. I agree with that. I mean, that's where they came up with these other criterias that wins fights now. You know, this is why they came up with CompuBox too. You know, a guy can win a fight. Like the stupidest thing I ever heard, the biggest cliche was Willie Pep won a round without throwing a single punch. I'm like, that's impossible. That's
ridiculous. Doesn't make sense. Absolutely ridiculous.
That makes absolutely no sense, bro.
Because the guy chasing, if that did happen, would still have to win based on chasing him around the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So exactly. That's just absolutely ridiculous. All you'd have to do is throw one punch and you would win.
Absolutely. Yep. Even if you missed that punch,
because you brought. That doesn't make sense.
That's why, like, I kind of like agree with like fucking Sugar Hill. It's like, bro, you gotta get the knockout in order to get the win. You know what I mean? It's like it's the ultimate equalizer, bro. Like when the person is down and he can't beat the count, that's the ultimate like throwback fucking equalizer. Cause like a lot of these people, they're not playing fair, bro. Like,
Well, look, when every guy goes in the ring, the number one goal is to stop their opponent, right? That whether it's hitting them with one punch, knocking them out, beating him up until he can't take it anymore, right? So that's the goal. Now, if you don't do that, but you did that the whole fight, and the other guy, let's say, is in retreat mode, he's hitting you with some shots. It's about equal in terms of shots landed, effective shots landed. Who wins the fight?
Yeah.
If the other guy's on retreat mode and the other guy is coming forward and he's landed just as much punches as you.
I agree.
I think
It's
it's
not
pretty
about.
simple. I think it's pretty simple who won the fight.
But
Right?
there becomes like these preconceived notions. Like for example, when the judges and the promotion, the whole event, that this guy's gonna fight like a Devin Haney. Everybody knows, but the judges in particular, that he's not gonna knock the other dude out. So they're already saying as long as he sticks to what he's shown us in the past and the thing that
We're
he's
gonna
highly
give it to
touted
him.
for, as long as he does that, we're gonna give it to him, right?
right?
And I hate that. I hate that about boxing. It's like that's not how you in the true competitive nature of the sport, that's not how you score a fight. Right? That you don't go by reputation. Well, if this guy fights the way he normally fights with everybody else and he survives, what if the other guy did more? Like just does that even enter their mind? Like, what if the other guy did more than that? You know, he landed good shots. He's coming forward.
Yeah,
He's
He's
trying.
blocking. Yeah,
and the same thing could
Yeah.
be said about the guy that's always knocking everybody out. The day he don't knock a guy out, oh, he's not the same no more.
yeah, absolutely, that happens.
I don't think personally you need to necessarily knock the guys out, but when you're trying to
Yeah,
do it, that's the difference, right? It's you're trying. It's the effort that we're looking for.
exactly.
That's why I don't really blame Haney too much for half of that fight because he was trying to put him down, but he just couldn't do it. So when you think about
Yeah,
it,
and
you don't have the power, but on the same time, it wasn't for a lack of trying. So you have to give him a little
and
bit
that's
of
probably
slack.
why he won the fight, right? Like, if you score it fair, it's probably why he wins that fight because he was trying to land. He was landing effective shots. They weren't putting him down, but he was landing effective shots because he was trying to put him down.
Mm-hmm.
Where these other guys are like, well, he didn't engage, but he pop shot, so he wins. He wins the fight.
Yeah, and also it's like the cleaner hard shots is like, dude, like sometimes you'll have like somebody else landing the cleaner hard shots, but then the champion will not be landing the cleaner hard shots. And then in the end of the day, they'll give it to the champion because the champion apparently showed like defensive fucking whatever and like he controlled the ring or whatever. And then the next time, the champion will not be like like landing the cleaner hard shots. I mean, the champion will be landing the cleaner hard shot, but the other guy like jabbed him to death and like
Yep.
outpointed him in every way. But then they'll give it to the fucking champion because the champion landed the cleaner hard shot. Like they change the goalpost every fucking time. It's like,
Yeah.
what is it? Like you gotta decide, bro. Like, is it this or is it that? Like, it just makes no fucking sense sometimes. Like that's the thing that like we
That's the
always get like.
politics. That's the politics that most boxing fans do not care about, right? We don't. We actually despise it, right? If you're like us, where we just, you know, we're in love with what I just call the technique of the sport, the martial art of the sport. We'll watch it, right? Because we know what we're looking at. But how are you going to attract new fans? How are you going to attract people that are casuals without being a fucking huge name, being a huge social event, right? Like, so going to a Canelo fight with your friends is a social thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's not many people like Canelo in the sport that has that kind of
True.
fans. So, if they're gonna watch another fight and they're gonna see a fight where this fucking guy looks like he won, but they're giving it to the other guy, they're gonna be like, I'm not interested in this sport.
Exactly. When I mean when the casuals can sniff out bullshit, you got a problem.
Yeah. And I've always said the casuals usually score fights the best because they don't have like this. Look, boxing
Bias.
out of all sports, it's the easiest thing to score, right? It's very telling. You know when a guy's getting counterpunched to death, right? You know it. You see it right away. You don't have to explain it to nobody. Everybody can see it. So when you are on the back foot and you're barely touching the guy, the other guy's coming forward chasing you, and you're like, this guy, you know, just did a wonderful performance.
Yep.
And I've seen this with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. The majority of the people that don't care about who you're a fan of, they're like, this is a boring sport. You know what I'm saying? This is a fucking boring sport. Yeah, there's nothing interesting about this sport. When a guy's getting, I remember a girl saying, he's the best fighter ever.
Oh my goodness.
Like
You
with
know
a
why?
question mark on her face.
You want to know why though? That shows you that even casual fans know that when you get into a fight, you need to assert yourself. And they're probably
Exactly.
even women watch that shit and they're sitting there like, what the fuck is going on right now? Why do you have those fucking gloves on? You know, get in there and somebody needs to go, right? No, I'm gonna dance my ass around this ring for 12 fucking rounds, and you're gonna pay for it. You know, it's fucking crazy.
That's
It's
my
asinine.
problem. That's my main problem with the Tank Davis fight and the Mayweather exhibition. They're laughing in your face, telling you you're gonna give us money, and this is the fact that pisses me off. They're telling you this is what boxing is supposed to be about. And look, they're making you pay that money, and the guy just doesn't close the show. He doesn't come to fight. He's fucking throwing the other dude around the ring. The last 3 rounds, he doesn't do anything. Man, that's what sucked about it.
Mayweather was extra livid, bro. He was extra livid in this in the post fight. I mean, he was really cringy how he basically just took over the show, made it about him. You know, you guys want Tank to lose because it's a way of beating me. Yeah, he said that. He actually said that shit.
It's like if you're secure about like how you handle the sport and like your legacy, you shouldn't be bringing yourself up, bro. Like why you? This guy is like 135 pounds. Like you shouldn't have to like bring yourself down to that level. And, like, bro, every time you put the mic on him, you got to talk about his jet.
Yeah,
You got to
exactly.
talk about how he's like. Come on,
His
man.
biggest skill
Did I
is
miss
bringing it
this?
back to himself, bringing the
Did he
topic
say
back
that?
to himself.
He
That's his
said
biggest
what?
skill.
Did he say the same thing when
About
he beat his baby mama?
what did he also talk about? Mental health mental health because of his uncle
He saw,
Roger.
he was talking
Oh,
about
that's
that.
That's why boxing's supposed to be boring, but it's supposed to be acceptable now because of that.
Look, there's
Yeah,
a lot
just
of
like
tragedies. There's a lot of tragedies that happens in fighting. We know that, right?
yeah.
And the fact that you willingly got into a sport of fighting, but then you want sympathy. It's like, dude, I don't know what
No.
message you're trying to send. It's a bad message. It's a very confusing one because look, if I get into a fight for free or for money, I understand that an accident can happen against me or against my opponent. I just know that automatically. I get into a fight on the streets, I kill a fucking dude. I can't tell the cops, "Oh, I made a mistake." That I didn't mean to punch him that hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, right? He can't do the same thing for me. He can't be like,
Mutual
"Oh, I didn't
combat.
mean to." Yeah, it's mutual combat. But
yeah.
we're gonna have to, we understand that we have to pay the consequences. Now, you're in a sport where you get paid money for it, right? Depending how far you go in your career and how you progress. I don't feel bad for you, bro. You're making millions. Like you
Oh
understood
yeah,
what was happening. You
Yeah.
understand? Yeah.
yeah, and basically he's telling you safety first. But here, come by my pay per view. Not
Come
all
by my
fighters
pay
are
per
pay per
view.
view.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Not
why
only
they
that,
lost
is
a
like
casual fan base, man. I mean,
And the
yeah, not
fact is
only
that
even
most
they can see it. Even the casual fans, they see it better than we do. We're the idiots. We're the one that watches this shit.
yeah.
exactly, man. They
We
see
are.
it,
We're the.
and they actually judge the fight better than we do. They actually do.
Mm-hmm.
They like, dude, I don't know what you're seeing, but that other guy's winning. you
That
know,
that's
The
yeah, that's a good point.
yeah.
the actual like the good fight from that card was Caballo Adame versus Devyachenko. Just for that alone, that card was a little bit worth it, and that was the great fight
Yeah,
Man, what did
in
you say?
that
I thought
card.
Derevchenko got fucked over in that fight. What do you
he
reckon?
did.
That was a terrible decision, I thought, bro. I was shocked they give it to the other lad.
Nah,
I couldn't I couldn't
not to me,
believe
I
that.
Jim.
Oh, I couldn't believe Adamas got that decision.
Adamas
It's
won.
like it's like it's like you
yeah.
know with Mayweather, like the other thing with Mayweather is like, dude, if you have actual skills and if you're really that passionate about like building these fighters up, like you saw how like he just like in the middle of fucking ranting, he just brought like one fighter and he shook his hand and he just told him like, oh, we're gonna support him, and but WWC doesn't support. Like, dude, if you're that fucking supportive of your fucking fighters and of other fighters and of other fighters of your stable, stay in the ring and like stay in the fucking gym and help them out. Like you don't never help them
Yeah.
out. Like Canelo actually takes people to the fucking gym and
But
works
here's
with
the
them
thing,
and
right?
trains with them. Like the
Here's the
fuck are
thing.
you doing? Like you just because in the press conference you bring someone over. This is not a fucking political fucking campaign. These you got to be with these fighters and help these fighters. You're never helping Tank out in the fighter in the fucking
Real,
camp, but like in the fucking
You
in the
see, by the
fucking ring,
time,
you're always with
real
them.
quick, real quick. May I say
yeah,
something?
yeah.
I just want to say thanks for having me on. It's late,
All right, Triple J, no worries, man.
so God bless. Thank you for having me on. Take care,
No, thank you for
everybody.
stopping by, man.
Have a good
All
night,
right.
brother.
Take it
Good
easy,
night,
Triple J.
Triple J.
Hey, peace out.
I'm about
Peace
to
out.
end it in a little while, but
Later, man.
I was gonna say that if you if you look at boxers that were stars, especially in recent time, Oscar De La Hoya. Look, him and Canelo didn't end well, right? But he helped create Canelo. He was focused on creating that brand, and you know that Canelo is who he is today. You know, Oscar De La Hoya, as a promoter, played a part in that, and he didn't. He never talked about himself, you know. And if he did, it was like, I think Canelo was better than me, you know, like propping Canelo up, and maybe he is. Maybe he really does mean that, right? But my point is that maybe he doesn't mean it, and he's just, it's not about him. I bet
Yeah,
you,
you
you know, I bet you asked Floyd, you know, was Tank,
Yeah.
if Tank was at your level at the same age? Never on my level. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see saying, never on my
yo,
level.
bro, he would never say that. He would be like, "Fuck that shit." Are you kidding me? You're talking about
I
me?
mean,
Like I'm like, that's the thing. Is like that's the thing I don't understand about Floyd. Is like, dude, if you want to train these fighters
yeah,
to be
who's
great, then
instructing him?
train them to
When
be
you got
great.
heavy hands like that, when you got heavy hands like that, and you're getting on the back foot, you're robbing away from your power. You're stepping away from actually putting inertia is forward. You're creating inertia. You're creating power when you're stepping in. You're springing off, like you're bending your knees a little, and you're popping up. You know, throwing comment. But no, you're boxing on the back foot. You got heavy hands, but you're throwing one single shot at a time. You're not putting your combinations while stepping in. He's doing what Mayweather is telling him, and when he's in the ring, he's looking for Mayweather in the crowd. You can see that, right? So obviously, this guy has like a certain control over him that he's not doing what he needs to be. Cause like remember when you guys were talking earlier that a fighter's great because he becomes better at what he was born with, right? He's got his certain
Yeah,
style. You cannot change the style of a fighter if he's not born with the certain quality, and because if he's born with a certain quality, you want to improve that quality, right? You want to make him better with what he was born with. Tank was born with certain qualities that he's fighting. He's fighting like out of that character. That's not the way he's supposed to fight.
yeah.
Yep, yep.
And it's like if you want these things that if you want Tank to do these things, Don't say it on fight night. Like, you should have been training him. You know what I mean? Like, you should have been training him, and you should have been there. Calvin is training him, so like, let Calvin fucking advise him. Like, why are you on the sidelines screaming all these things on fight night to tell him to do these things and like getting mad at him? I'm like, let him, like Gonzalo said, like, let him either fight the fight that he can fight, and then you keep your fucking ass shut, or
He's an
like,
egomaniac, man. He can't help
yeah, like,
himself.
or
You
like,
know.
you should have been training him to fight the way that you wanted him to. Like, on fight night, he can't just change everything. So now Tank is there confused, like whether I should fight the way that he's telling me or like whatever. He's screaming all kinds of nonsense at him. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, you gotta make up your mind. Either you're a promoter or you a trainer.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you
And
doing?
Is it me or like Mayweather look like he's on steroids?
That's
I
why
don't
he
Bro,
got
know.
all those hair injections, right?
bro, he'll be changing those fucking hair like is a fitted hat, bro. Like, he'll be putting on one day, the next day is fucking bald. Like, what the fuck? Like, either get rid of your hat, or your fucking hair, or like just go bald. Like, what the fuck? 1 week you're bald,
He,
next week you have fucking hair.
he's
I
probably
don't.
like on
I don't
TRT
get
or
it.
something. That's why he's
Yeah,
got
for
that
sure.
behavior. He's
For
always
sure.
Yeah.
mad,
Well,
right?
Yep.
He's going
He
off
said,
about Canelo.
yeah, he said whether you like it or not, I'm still the face of boxing, and he took Gervonta Davis's gloves. That's weird. There's a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah, because Gervonta Davis wanted to wear Canelo gloves again, right? Because just out of respect, because that's what Gervonta Davis does all the time. And his glove didn't even match his fucking outfit. He was wearing a red glove because Floyd asked him to change it at last minute. It was like, what
I
the
mean,
fuck, bro?
listen, you can't be promoted by a guy that has a vendetta against an active fighter that you might admire. You get what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah,
so Tank Davis naturally is a boxer, so that means he's a fan. So he sees a guy that he likes. You know what I'm saying? And your promoter doesn't like him because he's getting a lot of shine right now. You know, he's the cash cow. He's who you were.
but it's like he's using fucking Gervonta Davis's shine to talk about himself and his vendetta against Canelo, who fucking Gervonta Davis is a favorite fighter. So it's like, come on, man. Like, make up
It's
your
like,
mind.
dude, you could be like, look, I don't care who your favorite fighter is. It's just as long as you're doing a good job and we're making money, right? Like,
Yeah.
who cares who cares who you like when it comes to business, right? You know, you have a business, you do business with a guy, and you find out that let's say you're anti something, and he's pro that, but it was never an issue, right? Until somebody brought it up, and you guys are making good money.
Yeah.
Are you gonna care?
no.
No,
You know,
and
like
it's
I
actually
don't give a
hurting
fuck.
him.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jealousy is not a good thing because even let's say, for example, Gervonta Davis wears Canelo gloves, maybe he gets more fans because we know the
Yeah.
Mexicans were there, and if they see the boxing no gloves, Eddie Reynoso, Canelo, whatnot, he gains more fans.
Yeah.
But
Jealousy usually kills. Like, it's not good when you're jealous of somebody. It's
It
harmful. It's toxic.
destroys you, right?
yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's beginning. It's
But the
But you
beginning.
thing
gotta
is, like,
understand that
but
that's who Mayweather's always been. He's been very insecure, so he has to manage. If you're one of his fighters, he has to manage your progression because he doesn't want you to outshine him, right? Because
but
he
the thing
feels
is,
like
like,
if some
when you're an older fighter, right? Like, when you have older fighter and your legacy is sealed, signed, and delivered, right?
yeah, but that's my point. Yeah,
Then you're gonna look at a fighter that you're promoting, and then you're gonna like try to fucking, like, play to his fucking attributes. You're like, okay, Gervonta Davis, even though I don't like certain people, has certain fucking, like, he has certain kind of fandom towards Canelo or whatever, and he wants certain kind of Mexican fighters because Gervonta Davis clearly must have like a certain kind of idea of where his future must go. So he must be thinking himself too. So like, I'm gonna promote this guy the way he wants to promote, and in the middle, in between those things, I'm gonna try to give my expertise on how to maneuver. I'm not gonna fucking try to be like, I hate Canelo. You're wearing Canelo gloves. I'm not gonna fucking let you fucking fight with that shit. Change that shit right now in last
Maybe.
minute. That's
Yeah.
gonna make me be like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking? Now I'm confused. You know what I mean? As a
No
fighter.
shit. It's like, well, what if I like the fucking gloves? You know, what if they
What
fit
if the
right on my
gloves?
fucking hands? Like, what the hell does he care? That's fucking stupid. Gloves fit differently. I have like 8 pairs in my garage right now, and they all
And
fit
they
a
all
little
fit
bit different.
different.
They do.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
and some. Go ahead.
No. I just gonna say yeah, and he broke his hand. Sorry.
No,
Exactly.
that's fine.
He broke his fucking hand, bro. His hand was like a balloon. So if I'm
Right.
promoting you, like right now, you're saying you got 8 pairs of gloves, and on fight night you wear a certain kind of glove. If I'm promoting you, I'm gonna be like, no, this is what he chose. So I'm gonna support that. I'm gonna keep what I personally think away from that because I'm your promoter. I want you to be the biggest fucking person. So I'm gonna support your personality. I'm gonna say, yeah, that glove is the best. Whatever he's doing is the best. That's not about me. But
Well,
fucking Mayweather doesn't have the fucking skill to do that. He just brings himself all the fucking time. Like, what the bro? It's not about you.
Nobody cares
yeah,
about
and well,
that,
the
man.
Quacks. The reason I jumped in is because the Quack said that he's got about 8 pair of gloves and they all fit differently, and maybe that's the reason they fitted him a little different, and somehow he threw the punch. I don't know, and got hurt for that reason.
Sure.
Could be exactly that. Yeah.
Sure, but why would Floyd
Yeah,
tell
my
him what
point
the
is
fuck to
just
wear?
don't. Yeah, that's you stay out of that. You should know as a fighter that there are certain routines that cannot be fucked with in a fight. Going into a fight, don't fuck with it. If a guy feels comfortable, one day sleeping on the floor before the night of the fight, you let him sleep on the fucking floor. You don't say, "Well, no, I found out Canelo does that, so I don't want you to do that anymore."
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's getting a little bit too personal with fucking Mayweather.
because
Like,
he's a diva. He had the spotlight for a long time, and he created this whole image of perfection, and he controlled everything. He was, a control freak. That's what he is. And so
bro,
now that this is out of his control, when it comes to Canelo's career and how they're promoting him, right? Nobody asks Floyd Mayweather for anything on that side, right? When it comes to Canelo, nobody they fuck you. I'm laughing at you type of thing, right? It's one of those things. So he feels like he's got to control whatever's around him. It's like no appreciation for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Even if you like him, Matter
yeah,
of fact, you guys can't even talk about him. It's like when
yeah.
a
I think
dude, you hate a dude, you find out that your boy, the real reason why he hates that dude, that you never knew why he hated him, and you found out that dude fucked his girl before he did, that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of hate he has for him right now.
I was just about to say that. I swear to God. I was just about to fucking say that.
yeah, and like in the Leo Santa Cruz fight, I think he wore the Canelo gloves, and I think he saluted Canelo, right? And then it's like, that's
Yeah.
the fighter he wants to be, bro. Like that's like my son. Like, let's say I have a kid tomorrow, and my kid wants to go a different route. I'm gonna support what my kid does. I mean, like, whatever my personal feelings is, I'm gonna tell him later. But like on fight night, that's his personality. That's the kind of star that he wants to be. So like, why are you stopping that? Like, you're getting a dude's hand broken just cause out of your ego. Like, he probably didn't even fucking test those gloves out, but you fucking made him replace in the last minute.
No
Now
shit.
you can't.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, that's
Yeah, that's
getting too. Like, you're putting somebody's fucking life at risk. Like, or like
Well,
somebody's fight at risk.
we already seen that happen with Deontay Wilder when he changed his gloves last minute.
Yeah,
The
that's a
same
bad time to
gloves
switch
that
shit up. It's
you
awful.
don't do that. You don't break your routine. Whatever your routine is, don't worry about what the next man's doing. That's the first and foremost. As long as the guy's not literally the guy's not bringing a gun to a fucking fist fight, right? You're in a fist fight, you're expecting fists, right? You don't want to get stabbed or anything like that. But other than that, you don't care what the fuck he's wearing and how he walks into the ring and him talking shit or whatever the fuck. No, you just let him do his thing and then you do you. When you fight him, you bring your best. But these guys they're not confident in that, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, you promote them how they come, man.
Yeah.
That Wilder injury was just fucking stupid. I'm just saying, most people that wear horsehair gloves, They train for it. You wear bag gloves. You hit heavy bags. You
You got it.
strengthen your
You can't
hands.
just
You
put it
strengthen your
on.
wrists. Yeah,
Exactly.
you
You
can't.
strengthen your
It doesn't
wrists,
work like
man.
that. Horsehair. If you I have a pair of rival horsehairs in my garage. I ruined these gloves almost immediately right after I boxed them because I hit them with the heavy bag. I immediately impacted all the padding into an area. It's like a brick now. It's a
Every
complete brick.
glove, every glove that you, it's the same method, right? If you ever punch the heavy bag barefisted, you don't start winging right away, right? You don't
Nope.
just boom, boom, boom. You tap it, right? You start tapping it, and you start putting more punches into it, and you keep working your way, right? Until you found your, I'm tired. That's the best I could do, right? That's the best punch I could do on that. Maybe you pick up on it later on. You keep doing that. Same thing applies with gloves. When you're fighting in a fight, and you got your gloves, and you're used to working with a certain type of glove, you don't switch it last minute because your opponent is wearing a glove that you think gave him an advantage. You wear the gloves that you think are going to give you an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you train to your fucking attributes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of like you can't worry about what the other guy's doing. I almost like what Floyd used to say earlier in his career. It's like I don't watch tape on these guys. So I don't give a shit about that. I know what I'm gonna do. I kind of appreciated that a little bit because it's kind of like
No, yeah, it's true because
yeah.
it's like I'm not getting convinced by anything he does.
Right.
It's kind of like fighting that
I already
guy
got
in the
my
street.
plan. Right. Exactly.
If you fought some guy and you beat the living daylights out of him, and I come up to you at the end of the fight and be like, "Wow, I can't believe you beat up that monster." Now, if I'd have told you, "Oh shit, you're fighting a monster," you get what I'm saying? And
Oh
he
yeah,
might
because
fuck with you
my
in the
plan
fight.
was my plan was to kick the shit out of him. So I know to you it was surprising, but to me this was part of the script. That's what I had to do. So
exactly,
I get you.
Yeah, like you train for a certain kind of fight, you train for a certain kind of glove, you train for a certain kind of entrance, and the last minute just have it change. I don't know. Like I feel like the reason that I feel like because Tank broke his hand wearing the glove that Mayweather did, I feel like that's why he went off in press conference trying to overcompensate by trying to say Tank is this and that because he felt kind of guilty. But like he doesn't know how to like telegraph his emotion in like the right way, so he just tried to overcompensate it by being aggressive towards Canelo and all these other guys. Like, no, dude, you already fucked up by fucking like leaving this dude out in the fucking dust. He wasn't even letting Tank speak, bro. It's Tank's press conference. Let the fucking man speak.
It's so bad.
It was terrible.
That's
man.
the story. That's like the story of his whole career. Like he just takes over Tank anytime Tank gets the spotlight. He just brings it back to himself.
Fucking Tank is just sitting there like, damn.
I
I
know,
can't
he's
even
just
say
getting
a fucking
sunned.
word,
Like his whole career, he's getting sunned and dominated by this fucking attention or this 45-year-old attention seeker.
Exactly, man.
And honestly, though,
you know he's an attention seeker because look, he's all about image, right? That's like everything is image to him. It's all about perception. Yeah, it's like, look, no, I didn't put hair. That's my natural hair. It's like, no, it's not. We know you bald, motherfucker. It's okay. Nobody cares about hair.
Nobody
Like
cares.
who the fuck cares about hair?
You're fucking almost 50. Like nobody cares.
He's been
man,
bald.
listen,
He's been bald half his
my hair,
life, and now he's like, "Oh, I have hair now."
I barely notice my hair. That's not what I wake up and I'll be like, oh, let me see how my hair is doing today. You know what I'm
I cut it off because I fucking hate it.
I just shave the motherfucker off.
Yeah, and then if you're promoting a fighter, you're not.
It keeps
let's say
growing
you're
back. It keeps growing back, but it's like, as soon as it grows back, I don't want to deal with it. It's like, I'm just cutting the motherfucker off. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you were promoting a fighter tomorrow, you're not gonna fucking say in the middle of it, yeah, I changed my hair today. Nobody cares. Promotion. The fuck are you talking about? Like, oh, I'm rich.
You know what
I got my smart investment.
Yeah,
no,
I know. It's like they could say, what do you think about Cambosis and Tank? Well, they bring it back to his hair transplant. He's just fucking. The biggest case I saw it, bro, when I couldn't believe Tank's trainer allowed this. Remember when he fought in the UK? Do you remember when he went over and fought a guy named Liam Walsh? Tank knocked him out. They had the media workouts, right? and Floyd Mayweather gets in the ring and like takes over the workout from the trainer just so he could have all the attention like everyone see,
That's what I'm talking. You see, that's insane, bro. That's
yeah,
first
I
of
know.
all,
Bro, that
I
trainer
would think
should
he
say,
was
get the
only
fuck
child.
out the ring. Yeah, exactly. That trainer
Yeah.
should have said, get away from my fighter, you fucking old idiot. Get out the ring,
yeah,
you
like
stupid
get
old
away,
cunt.
man. You're a fucking you're an immature motherfucker. Get away. You're in your 40s, motherfucker.
And then the
My fighter's in his 20s.
funniest thing is like Tank loves the shit out of fucking Canelo, and that's his number one favorite fighter. And Floyd is going off on Canelo in the fucking Tank press conference, and Tank is just sitting there like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do.
And I don't know why. Listen,
It's
I know
his fault.
why.
It's Tank's
Look,
fault, man. It's his career. He needs to take
Tank,
control of this
Tank.
shit.
You know what happened with Tank? Is like probably there's some awestruck going on there with Mayweather. They probably liked him growing up,
No, I'm sure he did.
And,
I think I heard him
yeah.
say that, recognize, yeah.
Yeah, so he liked him growing up, and now this is a guy who's taking interest in you, and you're living a better. You're definitely living a better life than you were before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like maybe there's some type of loyalty there, but I think Tank is going to get to a point one day. Like, don't ever let him lose like a bad one, and he starts thinking to himself, let's say Floyd was screaming from the audience, and it kind of distracted him and he gets fucked up. Tank might lose his fucking mind, you know what I'm saying, and probably beat him up.
Yeah, Tank is a hothead. I'm waiting for that moment because that's what Tank needs. He needs to get away because I genuinely think that Tank wants to fight everybody, but Floyd won't let him.
He doesn't strike me as a dude that's scared. To me, he I don't know. He looks like he'd want to get in there more than
Yeah,
like
because I
obviously
feel
don't want
like
to promote him.
he's getting down in his age, right? So he wants those legacy fights. He
needs the money,
genuinely
right?
thinks
You do
that
it now.
yeah, he genuinely thinks that he could get these belts, and fucking Mayweather is out there fucking putting him in with like, I don't know, bro. Like it's just like what the fuck, like.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. And a lot of the ways Mayweather doesn't want him to get too great either, because Mayweather doesn't want him to get close to surpassing,
Because then it's like he doesn't need me anymore.
I think he's happy just how it is, recognise. I think Mayweather's happy with just how it's going right now, They can make money off him, and Tank's legacy's not getting too great or too much attention.
Well,
yeah,
it's like hijacking his career, Jed.
Yeah, it's like those
exactly.
friends. It's like those friends that want you to do good, but not better than them. So they always keep you around as like the guy that you do slightly less than them. You know what I mean? It's like
and dudes with that attitude, dudes with that kind of attitude, we've all met them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was at high school, whether it was in work, whether it was like work, friendship, whatever the case may be, right? You've met that one guy that is just so fucking arrogant, right? That he doesn't want you to do better than him. You can tell it bothers him. He has a nice car. You come through with a nice car, and he's kind of giving you like a dirty look, like, oh, but my car is this and this. It's like, dude, I got the car because I fucking like it, not to outshine you. I don't care about you. But yeah, he's that guy. He's petty. He's a real petty dude. And I don't even like Canelo, to be honest with you, in terms of like the politics of boxing. I don't even like that shit. But it's like, dude, get off, stop talking about him, all right? You had your turn, now it's his turn. And it is what it is. Don't get yourself hurt, old man. You ever heard that? Like, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and it's not even like you're fighting anymore. Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Like, it's not even. It has nothing to do with you. You're not fighting anymore. Like, you're not
a boxer. You're a promoter. Yeah, go out there and promote.
Yeah. Do you reckon this lack of attention might actually get Mayweather in the ring one day against someone who could knock him out, like bring him back into a fight?
I feel like it's gonna be a YouTuber.
He's gonna take a crazy risk and get knocked.
It basically almost did happen with fucking the last YouTuber he fought. I forget his name. Paul, the Paul guy.
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
I feel like if he got in there with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul really like kind of rushed him, and I feel like if he got a little bit down in his age where he wasn't training like how he was not training for Logan Paul, I think it would be a bad fight, Floyd.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
that's
didn't
how
watch
he's
that
gonna
fight,
get
but everyone told me that he didn't look good against a YouTuber. That's what
He
I
didn't
heard.
look good at all, man. He
out.
looked
Bro,
terrible.
Floyd was trying to knock him out bad, but Logan, like the Paul guy was like, nah, he was like too big, and he was just like too young. He was just like not
Yeah.
having it.
That guy's pretty big, actually. What is that dude? Like 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
He looked
That guy's
about that
big.
height. Yeah.
Punching
Yeah,
up to somebody's not easy. And
He was
Floyd
like
doesn't really
190.
throw overhands, so it
He's
wasn't
like
going to work out.
195 pounds.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
a
about
big dude.
195. Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
boy.
Plus Floyd is like, bro, when you're like slightly older, like it's just like, and when you haven't trained and when you haven't like conditioned, you just think that you're gonna walk in there against a big dude. It's tough, bro. Like your body's not gonna move. Plus he's an athletic fighter. Like he relied on his athletics a lot, and then that's like we saw how like that turned out for Roy Jones when athletics
Yeah.
left him. It's tough, bro. Like it's like you're not gonna be able to do that all the fucking time. Like fucking
Yeah,
father time is unbeatable.
you're not gonna be in your 20s forever. You know, you're
Yeah.
not gonna be in your early 30s. You're gonna be in your mid 30s, late 30s. That's when things start slowing down for you.
But Floyd genuinely gives me that vibe where he's like he's gonna get in there one day with like somebody that he thinks that he's gonna knock him out because he, like his cloud kind of dies out, and I feel like some YouTuber is gonna knock him the fuck out, man.
Yeah, he's gonna lose to a bum. He's gonna lose to a nobody.
Bro, it's gonna be such a huge blow to his ego. It's gonna be hilarious.
Anyway, everybody, man, I'm about to end the show, man.
All right,
It's
man.
super late.
Yeah, no
it's like
worries.
in the morning.
No worries.
Oh,
Thanks,
good,
Ed.
bro.
Hey,
All right.
recognize real quick, man.
Yep.
What you were talking about earlier, what your brother was doing with the water. He was drinking distilled water. They call that a water load.
Yes. Yep.
He was drinking distilled water. You can drop a lot of weight doing it. I wrestled
Doing
in
that,
judo
yep.
when I was younger.
I
So
used to see him do it all the time, bro. All the time. He got into wrestling once he got to high school, and
yeah.
then he started like making weight and all that stuff. And he was always doing that. That motherfucker's tough as nails. He's fucking the most well spoken out of all of us. But boy, he's a strong boy. Put it that way.
It's always the quiet ones, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Once he got into that, he got me and I got another younger brother. He doesn't want to admit it, but yeah, he'll fuck both of us. I mean, if we jumped him, yeah, but if he one-on-one, he'll fucking kill us.
Yeah.
If he wanted to.
Let's hope Loma does well this weekend. We got like 4 main events this weekend.
Yep.
I think he's gonna do.
Got some good
man.
fights this weekend, man. I think Loma's gonna go in there to shine, bro. That's his. He wants to make it, no doubt. I think he's getting meaner.
Yeah. You think Haney's gonna get all those 4 belts?
No.
I mean, if they get the fight and maybe they get it in the States, who knows, right? He can win like one of those BS decisions over him.
And that's why Loma's got the perfect opportunity because Tank and Haney didn't really shine after Cambosis was upset. So Loma's got all the to put a statement on and really push for that fight, be the one to impress
So
out of
who
the
knows,
three.
man? Lomachenko goes in there and fucking puts on a clinic and a dominant performance, and who knows, maybe even stop him. If I do that, I'm Loma. I want to congratulate Cambosis, but I will fight you in Australia, motherfucker.
That's right.
It. I'll go
right.
to your. You don't even have to worry about what I'm going to agree on. As long as the fight is fair in the ring, that's all I care about.
Man, if that happened, recognize you'd have to find a way to get out of here, bro.
Oh man, I would, man.
We've got to meet up,
I really would.
That's a great point, recognize. Because he should call him out because Cambosis isn't really mentioning Loma much. He's only talking about the 4 queens.
Right. He's probably the only one that's willing to travel
if
too. Out of
the
all
undisputed
of those five.
fight happens in Australia, I might come down, man. I don't know.
Oh well,
Yeah,
give us
that would
heads
be
up, bro. Show you how it really is in the city.
Outlaw, you think they could sell out 80K like Camboso said?
Yeah,
I think
for
they could
sure.
do close to it. I think they could do close to it. Yeah,
Australia has
definitely.
pretty
Not
fight base for boxing. They're into it.
yeah,
International
not before this fight, but Cambosis has blown up after this victory over Lopez. You know, his profile shot up. Before the fight, I
Hey
wouldn't
guys,
have said
we could talk offline. I'm just
Oh
going
yeah,
to
cool,
give a
cool,
quick
cool.
shout out to the chat. Thanks for everybody stopping by, and on to the next one.
All right, take it easy, man.
Thanks for having me.